And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Miami Herald's Athletic Awards ceremony. I am Nancy Meyer, president of the Miami Herald, and I would like to officially welcome you to our annual celebration of South Florida's top athletes, coaches, and our amazing sports culture. Honorees, congratulations on another milestone in your career. You are all superstars, and we hope you take the time to celebrate being part of the list of athletes whose names we recognize tonight. Just being nominated is an incredible triumph that speaks volumes of your perseverance, and especially after the past year. Success is no accident. You put in the time and the hard work, you balanced your academic and athletic responsibilities with your family life while in the middle of a worldwide health pandemic. That is no easy feat. The early mornings and the late nights, the rainy days and the unbearable ones, especially those in South Florida, through the losses and the wins, and even in the face of adversity, you continue to believe in yourself and in your team's mission. In the process, you learn valuable skills for your future careers, competitiveness and time management, and the value of teamwork. And most of all, how you tap into your emotional and mental strength to stay the course and accomplish your goals. That is why tonight's ceremony is a celebration of you. May today's success be the beginning of your incredible achievements in the future. We at Miami Herald all continue to cheer you on from the sidelines. And to our sponsors, Baptist Health South Florida's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute and the Orange Bowl Committee, we are so grateful for your continued support, which makes this event possible every year. And thank you to our partners at the Miami Heat, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Marlins, for your contributions to tonight's ceremony.
Welcome, students, families, coaches, teachers, and friends. I'm Alex Mena, Miami Herald sports editor. And on behalf of the Miami Herald, thank you for joining us this evening for our virtual athletic awards. Today, we'll be honoring and recognizing Miami-Dade and Broward County's top athletes for the 2020-2021 school year. As you know, we have all been having to do things a little unconventionally for over a year, while social distancing is the norm. But as we did last year, in deference to a tradition that dates back more than 60 years, we weren't going to let the ongoing global pandemic keep us from recognizing the most remarkable high school athletes and coaches in South Florida. Joining me in welcoming you this evening is our ceremony host, Miami Herald sports columnist Greg Cody. Many of you know and follow Greg from all his reporting and columns through the years.
Thank you, Alex. So, go ahead, sit back, put your feet up, enjoy the ceremony. Join the online conversation and share your selfies with us using the official hashtag 2021 Herald Sports as you cheer on South Florida's best young athletes. We're so glad you could join us. The Miami Herald's All-County Athletic Awards originated in 1957. Since then, we've built a heritage of supporting and encouraging academic and athletic excellence and celebrated many Miami-Dade and Broward high school stars who've gone on to achieve greatness. Over the years, we've honored more than 17,000 all-county athletes in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Each of you helps us continue that tradition. We thank you, we salute you, and we hope that this day will be another special memory of your high school years. You, your families, and your schools should be very proud.
Before we continue our program, I would like to thank our wonderful longtime partners, the Orange Bowl Committee, who have a long history of supporting youth sports in South Florida, and Baptist Health South Florida's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, who take care of the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, and FIU athletics. The Baptist team has helped countless athletes return to their sport, and today they salute you, our athletes, for your great work.
And now we welcome Dr. John Vijak with Baptist Health's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Dr. Vijak is an orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine physician. He helped establish the long-standing relationship between Miami-Dade County Public Schools and Baptist Health more than 20 years ago to ensure our student athletes receive the very best care. Today, Dr. Vijak serves as the medical director of the county's high school athletics program. He and his partners provide our athletes with free participation physicals, medical coverage at football games and other sporting events, and quick treatment and rehabilitation of injuries to get them back in the game. Our students take comfort in knowing that they receive the same high-quality sports medicine care that the pros get from Dr. Vijak and his team at Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, who also take care of the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, and FIU athletic teams. Dr. Vijak has helped countless athletes return to their sport, but what he finds most rewarding is working with you, our future college athletes, pros, and Olympians. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Vijak.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Vijak, Medical Director of South Florida High School Athletic Program and Orthopedic Surgeon with Baptist Health's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Welcome to the second virtual Miami Herald Athletic Awards ceremony. When I zoomed in for last year's event, I never thought we'd be hosting another virtual ceremony in 2021. The COVID-19 pandemic taught us that we need to meet challenges, and that's exactly what you have done this past year. On behalf of Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, I'd like to congratulate all of our athletes, your parents and coaches, and everyone else involved in high school sports for your ability to adapt. You have learned how to pivot, an important life lesson. This year, safety measures meant that teams practiced and competed differently. Many of you wore masks or face coverings. Some of you had limited training schedules or reduced access to gyms and training facilities. Sometimes, due to COVID exposures or illnesses, teams were quarantined or game schedules changed, but you didn't let any of that hold you back. Whether it was on the field or the court, at the tee or in the pool, you rose above the hardship. You worked hard, you dealt with the circumstances, turned in amazing performances, and set new records. You overcame adversity, and you discovered new ways to reach your goals. Simply put, you demonstrated true commitment and character. The future is bright for all of you. Congratulations on your exceptional achievements. Remember, no matter where you go, that you are carrying South Florida banner with you. Congratulations again, and enjoy the event.
Thanks to all of our sponsors for partnering with us and helping us continue this legacy in high school sports. Today's celebration would not be possible without their support. Athletes, if you had not performed in the classroom, you would not have had the opportunity to perform on the field, the court, the pool, or the track. It is a privilege to celebrate your achievements. Today, we will honor the best scholar athletes in South Florida, athletes who excelled in the classroom. We'll salute Miami-Dade and Broward's Players of the Year. We'll recognize the county's finest high school coaches who've inspired their athletes. And finally, we will award the best of the best. At the end of the program, we'll announce the winners of the coveted Male and Female Athlete of the Year trophies. Any All-Miami-Dade and Broward athlete is automatically eligible for these awards. You don't have to have been Player of the Year in any sport to win the Athlete of the Year trophy. As we continue with our program, our social media team will be liking, retweeting, and regramming your tagged posts today. So, use hashtag 2021 Herald Sports and share your best photos, posts, and tweets. We want to begin by recognizing the teams that have brought back state championships. As of the week of May 10th, there were 35 combined in Dade and Broward. At the time this was filmed, the baseball and softball seasons had not yet concluded. Here's a roll call of champions. St. Thomas Aquinas Football, Class 7A. Miami Central Football, Class 6A. American Heritage Football, Class 5A. Cardinal Gibbons Football, Class 4A. Champagnat Catholic Football, Class 2A. Mater Academy Girls Volleyball, Class 6A. Columbus Cross Country, Class 4A. Belen Jesuit Cross Country, Class 3A. Pinecrest Girls Swimming and Diving, Class 2A. American Heritage Girls Golf, Class 2A. Pembroke Pines Charter Boys Basketball, Class 5A. Pinecrest Boys Basketball, Class 4A. Calvary Christian Boys Basketball, Class 3A. St. Thomas Aquinas Girls Basketball, Class 6A. American Heritage Girls Basketball, Class 5A. Miami Country Day Girls Basketball, Class 3A. Miami Christian Girls Basketball, Class 2A. Doral Academy Boys Soccer, Class 6A. Belen Jesuit Boys Soccer, Class 5A. Cardinal Gibbons Girls Soccer, Class 4A. South Dade Wrestling, Class 3A. Somerset Academy Wrestling, Class 1A. Doral Academy Competitive Cheerleading, Class 2A, Extra Large Non-Tumbling Division. LaSalle Competitive Cheerleading, Class 1A, Extra Large Non-Tumbling Division. St. Brendan Competitive Cheerleading, Class 1A, Extra Large Tumbling Division. Dr. Kropp Boys Tennis, Class 4A. Doral Academy Boys Tennis, Class 3A. Doral Academy Girls Tennis, Class 3A. Pinecrest Boys Tennis, Class 2A. American Heritage Girls Tennis, Class 2A. Gulliver Boys Water Polo. Dillard Boys Track and Field, Class 3A. Miami Northwestern Girls Track and Field, Class 3A. St. Thomas Aquinas Girls Track and Field, Class 4A. And St. Thomas Aquinas Girls Lacrosse, Class 2A.
Created in 1935 with the mission of generating tourism for South Florida, the Orange Bowl Committee, with partner support, has evolved to become so much more. In addition to the hundreds of millions of dollars generated by the Capital One Orange Bowl for the local economy, the committee has invested nearly $27 million over the last 10 years in youth sports, community, and academic programs and legacy gifts. Orange Bowl continues to positively impact South Florida. This is who we are. To learn more, visit orangebowl.org.
Another key supporter of our program is the Orange Bowl. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to hear a few words from Jack Seiler, President and Chair of the Orange Bowl Committee. A former mayor of Fort Lauderdale and member of the State of Florida House of Representatives, Jack is a founding partner in the law firm Seiler, Sauter, Zayden, Rhymes, and Walbrink. His grandfather, Ernie Seiler, was one of the original founders of the Orange Bowl Committee, of which Jack is currently serving as the 83rd President and Chair. Please join me in welcoming Jack Seiler.
Hello, I am Jack Seiler, President and Chair of the Orange Bowl Committee and a proud partner of this outstanding Miami Herald event. Congratulations to each and every one of you on your academic and athletic achievements throughout this unprecedented year. Your feats would be tremendous in any year, but they're even more remarkable given the challenges you have overcome during this pandemic. For many of you being honored, it is possible that the Orange Bowl has contributed to your success in the past. Perhaps you played in the Orange Bowl International Tennis Championship or in the Doral Publix International Golf Championship presented by the Orange Bowl. Others may have participated in our Orange Bowl Track and Field, our Orange Bowl Swim Championships, or our Orange Bowl Lacrosse Classics. Maybe, like NFL stars and former All-County athletes Sonny Michel and Patrick Peterson, your football career began in the Orange Bowl Youth Football Alliance. And possibly someday you'll play in the Capital One Orange Bowl, like former All-County players Dalvin Cook, Jerry Jeudy, and so many others. You could end up being MVP of the Orange Bowl Basketball Classic, like former Miami Heat player and Miami Herald Player of the Year, James Jones. And perhaps some of you have participated in our newest ventures, the Orange Bowl Florida High School Football Showcase and the Orange Bowl High School Basketball Showcase. And by the way, if you are a rising senior, be on the lookout for these two events. Millions of scholarship dollars have been awarded to hundreds of student athletes annually through these two programs, and we expect to continue with the success of these two events. The bottom line is this: for more than 87 years, the Orange Bowl has been promoting and serving the South Florida community through our youth sports, community support, education, and legacy projects. And it's your support of our events and your parents' and family support of our events, such as our Capital One Orange Bowl, that enables us to give back as much as we can to our South Florida community. So again, congratulations to all of you. You've really accomplished much in your short time, and we wish you the best and much success. And thank you all for your support of the Orange Bowl, and special thanks to the Miami Herald.
And now it's time to recognize the all-county student athletes. Athletes will be introduced by sport. At the end of the sports roll call, the Players of the Year for both Dade and Broward counties will be announced. Once we finish recognizing individual sports, we will transition to our Showcase Awards, the Major Sports and All Sports Award, the Don Shula Coaches of the Year, named in honor of the legendary Miami Dolphins coach who passed away last year at the age of 90, and the Overall Athletes of the Year. And now we'll begin with the all-county teams and Players of the Year in each sport. These athletes excelled not only on the field but in the classroom as well. Let's meet the 2021 Scholar Athletes. First up, the girls Scholar Athletes for Miami-Dade. Lindsay Gould, Ransom Everglades. Karina Leon, Coral Gables. Georgia Malug, Palmer Trinity. Daniela Stanfield, Terra. Francesca Suarez, Carrollton. and Lindsay Weingart, prop.
Congratulations to this year's Miami Herald Athletic Award winners. Through your involvement with sports, you have learned valuable skills like teamwork, perseverance, and commitment that will serve you well in life. You have distinguished yourselves as talented athletes, as well as dedicated scholars. You have the heart of a champion, and I'm sure you'll be victorious in whatever you choose to do next. Congratulations.
Our winner is a 3-time All-Dade first-team selection in soccer and a 2-time All-State selection. She also served as the place kicker this past season for her school's football team and later qualified for regionals in track and field, in the pole vault, triple jump, and discus. All this while maintaining a 3.84 GPA and scoring a 1430 on the SAT. She's heading to Brown University. The Girls Scholar Athlete of the Year for Miami-Dade is Ransom Everglades' Lindsay Gould. Next up, here are the Miami-Dade Boys Scholar Athletes. David Fumagalli, Palmer Trinity. Hayat K. Ramos, Gulliver. Danny Mendoza, Ransom Everglades. Oliver Peralta, Hialeah Gardens. Rodrigo Velasco, Columbus. And Javier Vento, Belen Jesuit. A 2-time state cross-country champion and a 4-time All-Dade first-team selection, our winner was the state's Runner of the Year and led his team to 4 state championships during his career. He also holds school records in the 800, 1600, and 3200 meters and was a state champion this year in the 1600 and 3200. He did all this while maintaining a 3.929 GPA. He scored a 1410 on the SAT, and he's headed to the University of Florida. The Boys Scholar Athlete of the Year for Dade County is Belen Jesuit's Javier Vento. Now let's introduce Girls Scholar Athletes for Broward. Raquel Alvarado, Stoneman Douglas. Daniela Aronsky, American Heritage. Sierra Langford, Flanagan. Kayla Master, West Broward. Mika Petruska, St. Thomas Aquinas. And Sierra Stalker, Pinecrest. An all-Broward first-team selection as a junior, she was an integral part of a historic run of 4 consecutive state basketball championships. This past season, she led her team with 6.7 assists per game, as well as 10.3 points, as they once again won the Class 5A title. An honors student, she maintained a 5.26 weighted GPA, scored a 1450 on the SAT, earning a scholarship to Emory University. The Girls Scholar Athlete of the Year for Broward County is American Heritage's Daniela Aronsky.
Hi, my name is Sean Serra, proud Director of Athletics and Student Activities for Broward County Public Schools. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Miami Herald. You guys are doing an amazing job, and we really appreciate you recognizing all the athletes in the Tri-County area. I want to give a special shout out to our Broward County athletes. We're incredibly proud of you. You persevered, and today is all about recognizing your accomplishments. Enjoy, and thanks again, Miami Herald, for taking the time to acknowledge and recognize our student athletes here in Broward.
And to round out our Scholar Athlete Awards, let's introduce the Broward Boys Scholar Athletes. Matthew Barnes, Calvary Christian. Darian Estevez, Somerset Academy. Tyler Flowers, Cooper City. Benjamin Gomez Del Campo, American Heritage. Duncan German, University School. And Nick Vajonovich, Highlands Christian. A first-team All-Broward swimmer, our winner was a state qualifier in the 200 freestyle and 400 free relay. He maintained a 5.74 GPA with a full slate of AP classes and scored a 1570 on the SAT. He's headed to Georgia Tech in the fall. Our Broward County Boys Scholar Athlete of the Year is American Heritage's Benjamin Gomez Del Campo.
Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners.
And now let's begin the fall sports. First up is girls cross country. The top runners from Miami-Dade this year were Annabella Cardona, Braddock; Kyra Gardner, Gulliver Prep; Kaylin Gibbs, Coral Reef; Emma Hancock, St. Brendan; Andrea Montaner, Carrollton; Crystal Rodriguez, Coral Reef; and Penelope Sosa, Coral Park. And from Broward, we have Alyssa Benson, South Florida Heat; Christiana Coleman, Dillard; Isabella Del Busto, Calvary Christian; Lindsay Duffner, St. Thomas Aquinas; Ashley Fitzgerald, American Heritage; Summer Steer, Cypress Bay; and Paige Seville, South Florida Heat. The girls cross country runner of the year finished fourth in the Class 4A state meet and ran a season best time of 18 minutes 47.1 seconds. The Dade girls cross country runner of the year is Coral Park Junior Penelope Sosa. This freshman dominated the field at the Class 1A Tri-County Championship at a season best time of 18 minutes 50.07 seconds. The Broward girls cross country runner of the year is Dillard's Christiana Coleman. Our girls cross country coach of the year led his team to a fourth place finish in the Class 2A championship race with 3 runners finishing in the top 26. It's Gulliver Prep's David Suarez. His team finished 6th in the Class 1A state championship meet with 3 runners among the top 50 finishers. The Broward girls cross country coach of the year is South Florida Heat's Bob Bemis. Now for boys cross country. We'll start with Broward. Michael Fiore, Fort Lauderdale; Jack Gabriel, Pinecrest; Joshua Gamage, Dillard; Martin Goodwin, St. Thomas Aquinas; Rushane Miller, Dillard; Reese Noda, West Broward; and Umberto Ramirez, Fort Lauderdale. And the top runners from Miami-Dade this year were Alexandre Chevalier, Coral Gables; Diego Gomez, Belen Jesuit; Christian Yvonette, Columbus; Adam Magulas, Belen Jesuit; Austin San Juan, Belen Jesuit; Javier Vento, Belen Jesuit; and Aiden Villasuso, Belen Jesuit. This senior was the individual champion in the Class 4A Tri-County meet, and his season best time of 15 minutes 22.3 seconds was the fastest in the county by more than 30 seconds. The Broward Boys Cross Country Runner of the Year is Fort Lauderdale's Michael Fiore. This senior dominated all season, was the Class 3A individual state champion, and ran the fastest time in Dade County this year with a 15:21 5K. The Dade Boys Cross Country Runner of the Year is Belen Jesuit's Javier Vento. His team won the Class 4A Tri-County Tournament, had the top 2 finishers in the title race, and had the only 2 runners in the county to both run sub-16-minute 5Ks this season. The Broward Boys Cross Country Coach of the Year is Fort Lauderdale's Josh Fulton. His team won yet another state title, giving him an FHSAA record 12 over his career. 4 of his top 5 runners finished in the top 8 in the state title race. The Dade Boys Cross Country Coach of the Year is Belen Jesuit's Frankie Ruiz.
Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Awards winners.
We'll now move to girls volleyball, starting with classes 4A, 2A. From Miami-Dade, Sydney Bond, Westminster Christian; Melissa Cruz, Divine Savior; Saskia Hernandez, Westminster Christian; Katerina Jimenez, St. Brendan; Emily Matthias, Westminster Christian; Fiona McLaughlin, Palmer Trinity; Isabella Mendoza, Divine Savior; and Juliana Williamson, Ransom Everglades. And from Broward, Dylan Andrews, Cardinal Gibbons; Taylor Bates, Calvary Christian; Jessica Cincy, Cardinal Gibbons; Joy Fairweather, Calvary Christian; Valeria Lozada, Cardinal Gibbons; Kate Marcenison, Pompano Beach; Olivia Penico, Coral Springs Charter; and Sienna Tejada, Pinecrest. In the 4A-2A category, this senior put together yet another stellar season to close out her high school career. She had 356 kills, a .420 hitting percentage, and 265 digs to lead her team to a state runner-up finish. It's Westminster Christian's Saskia Hernandez. This junior paved the way for her team to reach the Class 4A championship game. She tallied 161 kills, 140 digs, and 22 aces in just 11 games. The Broward 4A-2A Girls Volleyball Player of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Dylan Andrews. She led one of the top teams in the country this year, a team that went 22-1 and dropped just 7 sets on the season. Their only loss came in the Class 3A state championship game. Our Dade Girls Volleyball 4A-2A Coach of the Year is Westminster Christian's Julie Doan Karanuma. They only played 11 games this year due to COVID-19 restrictions and started the season with a 1-3 record, but her team rebounded, winning 6 straight matches to make it to the state title game for the first time since 2015. The Broward Girls Volleyball 4A-2A Coach of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Catherine Reber. Now we'll move on to classes 7A, 5A for girls volleyball. Our representatives from Broward include Anika Castellanos, Archbishop McCarthy; Meredith Dixon, St. Thomas Aquinas; Erin Engel, St. Thomas Aquinas; Natalie Hernandez, Pembroke Pines Charter; Selimar Hoyos, Archbishop McCarthy; Alyssa McBean, St. Thomas Aquinas; Hope Passarello, West Broward; and Yakira Wardlaw, American Heritage. And from Miami-Dade, we have Andrea Acevedo, Ferguson; Angeles Alderette, Mater Academy; Sabrina Cabrera, Hialeah Gardens; Gina Chicolo, Southwest; Leila Cortez, Southwest; Angelina Dubal, Coral Reef; Taylor Pagan, Mater Academy; and Elisa Villar, Mater Academy. This senior was a focal point for her team's offense, putting up 144 kills, 36 aces, and 63 digs to help her team to a 13-3 record in its first BCAA Big 8 title. The Broward 7A, 5A Girls Volleyball Player of the Year is Pembroke Pines Charter's Natalie Hernandez. This junior was a force, putting up a .362 hitting percentage with 148 kills, 22 aces to help her team win its first state title. The Dade 7A, 5A Girls Volleyball Player of the Year is Mater Academy's Angeles Alderette. His team went 13-3 and made school history with its first BCAA Big 8 title and reached the semifinals of the 6A, 1A Tri-County Tournament. The Broward Girls Volleyball 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Pembroke Pines Charter's Andres Ibon. Despite not having a home gym and playing all of their games on the road, her team went 9-2, beat St. Thomas Aquinas twice, and won its first ever state volleyball title. Our Dade Girls Volleyball 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Mater Academy's Elsa Lopez.
Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners.
We'll move to the pool next. First up, girls swimming and diving. Our top students from Miami-Dade this season were Sophia Perez, Palmetto; Olivia Deinhardt, Cutler Bay; Chloe Hernandez, Gulliver Prep; Isabella Reyes, Palmetto; Madeline Smutney, Cutler Bay; Claudia Acosta, Hialeah Gardens; Natalie Gembicki, Cutler Bay; Alina Deinhardt, Cutler Bay; Alyssa Pasquale, Gulliver Prep; Elise Wood, Gulliver Prep; Cassandra Kraft, Gulliver Prep; and Giovanna Musiello, Gulliver Prep. And from Broward, we have Haley Sisuski, Pinecrest; Julia Podkoshelny, Pinecrest; Erica Pelez, South Florida Heat; Caitlin Ross, St. Thomas Aquinas; Julianne McCraney, St. Thomas Aquinas; Riley Botting, Pinecrest; Esther Lynn, Pinecrest; Hannah Smith, Pinecrest; Isabella Chambers, Pinecrest; Samantha Littman, St. Thomas Aquinas; Teresa Landrone, St. Thomas Aquinas; and Gabriella Chambers, St. Thomas Aquinas. This sophomore finished as the state runner-up in the 100 breaststroke and picked up a fourth place finish in the 200 IM in the Class 1A state competition. The Dade Girls Swimmer of the Year is Cutler Bay's Olivia Deinhardt. This sophomore won individual titles in the 200 IM and 100 backstroke while also competing on a pair of state-winning relay teams. The Broward Girls Swimmer of the Year is Pinecrest Julia Podkoshelny. First in Dade, his team had 4 top 5 event finishes in Class 2A to finish as state runner-ups behind only Pinecrest. The Dade Girls Swimming Coach of the Year is Gulliver Prep's Chris George. In Broward, his team dominated in the Class 2A state competition, with the girls' team winning a state title and nearly doubling up the state runners-up. The Broward Girls Swimming Coach of the Year is Pinecrest Mariusz Podkoshelny. And now for boys swimming and diving. From Broward, we have Benjamin Gomez del Campo, Plantation American Heritage; Nikita Efimov, South Florida Heat; Kevin Mendez, Pinecrest; Blakeman Shaw, Westminster Academy; Dario Martin, South Florida Heat; Enrique Rodriguez, Somerset Academy; Lance Lesage, St. Thomas Aquinas; Josh Hanks, Pinecrest; Jonas Santos, St. Thomas Aquinas; Jack Faulkner, St. Thomas Aquinas; David Garzone, St. Thomas Aquinas; Luke Ferrara, Pinecrest; Eric Zapata, Pinecrest; Victor Lago, Pinecrest; and Roman Ferrara, Pinecrest. And from Miami-Dade, Kyle Korvick, Palmetto; Dominic Bono, Coral Reef; Michael Arias, Mater Academy; Miguel Sierra, Cutler Bay; Hector Paz, Belen Jesuit; Juan Mora, Doral Academy; Anthony Martinez, Mater Lakes Academy; Anthony Robena, Mater Lakes Academy; Augustin Rodriguez, Mater Lakes Academy; Danielle Quijada, Mater Lakes Academy; Ronnie Rueda, Mater Lakes Academy; Evan Abril, Gulliver Prep; Isaiah Jimenez, Gulliver Prep; Hayat K. Ramos, Gulliver Prep; Bruno Rebesi, Gulliver Prep; Sebastian Pacheco, Doral Academy; Logan Gonzalez, Doral Academy; and Juan Calmar, Doral Academy. This senior made FHSAA history by claiming his 5th consecutive state diving title. It's only natural that he's our Player of the Year as well. It's Pinecrest's Kevin Mendez. This senior posted a pair of top 3 finishes in the Class 1A state competition, getting state runner-up honors in the 100 backstroke and 3rd in the 100 butterfly. The Dade Boys Swimmer of the Year is Cutler Bay's Miguel Sierra. This coach's team put together another strong season on the boys' side, as well as finishing 2nd at state. The Broward Boys Swimming Coach of the Year is Pinecrest's Mariusz Podkoshelny. Behind 4 top 5 event finishes, including first place in the 200-yard freestyle relay, his team finished 3rd in Class 2A, the highest team finish among Dade schools. Our Dade Boys Swimming Coach of the Year is Mater Lakes Academy's Cesar Asadi. Next up, we'll honor our top golfers from this year. First from Miami-Dade, Andreas Atrio, Columbus; Tomas Borquez, Doral; Alexander Delmau, Gulliver; John Marshall, Gulliver; Hans Ristver, Columbus; Lorenzo Rodriguez, Belen Jesuit; Matthew Yaman, Miami Country Day; Remy Bacardi, Palmer Trinity; Dariana Brito, Slam; Gia Cuyar Guerra, Mater Lakes; Juliana Gomez, Doral; Gabby Gomez, Doral; Alex Poole, Miami Country Day; and Skyly Shin, Divine Savior. And from Broward, Luke Clanton, American Heritage; Gabriel Hegerstrom, American Heritage; Jackson Custon, American Heritage; Johnny Morin, American Heritage; Sean Richards, North Broward Prep; Sebastian Sacristan, American Heritage; Brett White, Archbishop McCarthy; Kaylee Errett, Cardinal Gibbons; Jennifer Lilly, Archbishop McCarthy; Rachel Gomez, Sagemont. Leila Pedrique, Sagemont. Catherine Schaefer, American Heritage. Kelly Shanahan, American Heritage. And Ariana Silva, Sagemont. We'll start with Dade boys. This junior posted the county's best combined score at state, shooting a 76 on each day of the 3A meet, finishing 18th overall, and averaged a Dade best 75-stroke average in the postseason to go along with a district runner-up finish. The boys' golfer of the year is Tomas Borquez of Doral Academy. Our Dade Girls golfer is a senior who finished tied for 12th at state and shot a 67 on the first day of competition, helping her team finish 9th in Class 3A. She also won a district championship and placed 9th in a tough regional tournament. The girls' golfer of the year is Doral's Juliana Gomez. And now for Broward. This FSU-bound junior shot a county record 64 at the Morrison Invitational this season and didn't let up in the postseason, winning the Class 2A state title with scores of 68 and 69. The boys' golfer of the year is American Heritage's Luke Clanton. This junior continued her high school dominance by securing the Class 2A state individual championship with scores of 71 and 69, while leading her team to the state title as well. She also finished ranked number 1 in the state with a season stroke average of 72. The girls' golfer of the year is Kelly Shanahan of American Heritage. Despite being placed in a new region this season, this coach guided his team to the state's highest finish in Class 3A, a regional runner-up finish, and a district championship. The boys' golf coach of the year is Mike Marinelli of Columbus. This veteran coach led his team to a 9th place finish at state and earned a top ranking overall in Miami-Dade County. The girls' golf coach of the year is Doral Academy's Armando Echevarria. Despite the challenges of COVID-19 this season, this coach kept his program in striking distance of a state title, coming up second after a team playoff with Ponte Vedra at state. The boys' coach of the year is Brant Moser of American Heritage. This coach took over this elite program and guided them to their state record 9th state championship, winning Class 2A by an impressive 20-stroke margin over 2 days. The girls' coach of the year is Mike Carlin of American Heritage. We'll now transition from the links to the lanes as we honor the top bowlers from both counties. First from Broward, Anderson Elaine, Coral Springs. Joshua Alonso, Archbishop McCarthy. Nicholas Fernandez, Archbishop McCarthy. Antonio Garrido, Western. Jason Marks, American Heritage. Cameron Samuels, Coral Springs. Nathan Whaley, Coral Springs Charter. Isabella Cheney, Archbishop McCarthy. Alexis Diaz, Coral Springs Charter. Katerina Hagler, Coral Springs Charter. Sophia Kata, Coral Springs. Emily Leggett, American Heritage. And Mika Petruska of St. Thomas Aquinas. And from Miami-Dade, Tyler Keller, Hialeah Educational. Connor Pifo, Palmetto. Casey Puitt, Terra. Marlon Ruiz, Columbus. Ryan Toffoli, Terra. Antonio Verona, Columbus. Eric Wiener, Palmetto. Hadley Bowen, Gulliver Prep. Alexa Hernandez, Braddock. Emilia Nodars, Cutler Bay. Ella Perez, Terra. Gillian Pons, Terra. Alexa Puet, Terra. And Lindsay Weingard, Crop. He was the Tri-County individual champion and averaged a stellar 228 pins per game this season. The Broward Boys Bowler of the Year is Coral Springs senior Anderson Elaine. Our Girls Bowler of the Year continues to be not just the best in the county, but one of the best in the state. She had a 211 average this year and a 249 high game. Oh, and she's still just a freshman. The Broward Girls Bowler of the Year is Coral Springs Charter's Katerina Hagler. This senior was the GMAC individual champion and bowled a county high game of 279. The Dade Boys Bowler of the Year is Terra's Ryan Toffoli. On the girls' side, she led the county with a 182 average and had a 256 high game on the season. The Broward Girls Bowler of the Year is Braddock's Alexa Hernandez. His team won the BCAA championship and finished runner-up in the Tri-County tournament. The Broward Bowling Coach of the Year is Coral Springs' Ricky Samuels. His team swept the GMAC team and individual championships. The Dade Bowling Coach of the Year, Terra's Steve Suarez.
Hey, it's Miles Gaskin here with the Miami Dolphins. Big congratulations to the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners this year.
To wrap up our individual sports awards, we move over to football. We're going to start with our top players from classes 5A Independents. Miami-Dade's team consists of Nick Vattiato, True Prep Academy, Tyus Taylor, Champagnat Catholic, Katravis Jeter, Carroll City, Darius Chester, Edison, Donovan Jones, Champagnat Catholic, Malik Rutherford, Champagnat Catholic, Keyshawn Brown, Champagnat Catholic, Brandon Innes, True Prep Academy, Nathaniel Joseph, Edison, Khalil Brantley, Northwestern, Philip Dunham, North Miami Beach, Marcus Tate, True Prep Academy, Okino King, Northwestern Senior, Telek Laquette, Northwestern, Jason Seraphin, North Miami Beach, Brandon Branna, Gulliver Prep, Patrick Payton, Northwestern, Jeremiah Peters, Booker T. Washington, Darnell Georges, Champagnat Catholic, Mekhi Prosper, Monsignor Pace, Tyler Johnson, Killian, Emil Aim, True Prep Academy, Kelly Lasso, Dade Christian, Leon Hart, Edison, Cameron Kinchins, Northwestern, Tim Burns Jr., Northwestern, Ricardo Hallman, True Prep Academy, Rance Connor, Booker T. Washington, Antoine Gisme, Champagnat Catholic, John Bennett, Miami Springs, Darian Anderson, Dade Christian, and Will Bettridge, Gulliver Prep. And now our Broward County representative from classes 5A Independent, Jalen Tolbert, Chaminade Madonna, Brody Pelhagyi, Cardinal Gibbons, Thad Franklin, Chaminade Madonna, Davian Gauss, Chaminade Madonna, Mark Fletcher, American Heritage, Troy Salato, Cardinal Gibbons, Arande Gadsden II, American Heritage, Brandon Chapman, Calvary Christian Academy, Bryson Williams, Cardinal Gibbons, Vincent Davis, American Heritage, Tobias Lewis, Westminster Academy, Kareem Harden, Stranahan, Anthony Earl, Cardinal Gibbons, Jackson Crozier, Cardinal Gibbons, Miguel Cedeno, American Heritage, DeAndre Duffus, Chaminade Madonna, Alan Hay, Chaminade Madonna, Jamal Johnson, Chaminade Madonna, Marvin Jones Jr., American Heritage, Richard Thomas, American Heritage, Jertavis Black, Cardinal Gibbons, Mason Thomas, Cardinal Gibbons, Trey Brown, Cardinal Gibbons, Jack O'Keefe, Cardinal Gibbons, Jaden Kinlock, American Heritage, David Vadala, American Heritage, Dylan Reed, Chaminade Madonna, James Williams, American Heritage, Boogsy Silvera, American Heritage, Torrey Cox Jr., Chaminade Madonna, Brian Dilworth, Chaminade Madonna, and Chris Marone, American Heritage. Champagnat Catholic was an offensive juggernaut, and he was the trigger man. This quarterback threw for 2,414 yards, 39 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions, and Champagnat averaged 53.3 points per game throughout its postseason run to win its 3rd state championship in 4 years. He's headed to Ferris State. Our Miami-Dade 5A Independent Offensive Player of the Year is Champagnat Catholic's Tyus Taylor. He became the latest in a line of great edge rushers for Northwestern this year, logging 5 tackles for loss and 9 sacks in just 5 games on the way to the region quarterfinals. He's headed to Florida State. Our Miami-Dade 5A Independent Defensive Player of the Year, Miami Northwestern's Patrick Payton. This coach guided his team to its 2nd straight state title and 3rd in 4 years. Since taking over in 2018, he has guided his team to 3 straight appearances in the title game, and his latest championship came after Danny Clavijo, his younger brother and defensive coordinator, passed away in a car crash last summer. The Lions dedicated their latest title run to his memory. For our Miami-Dade Class 5A Independent Coach of the Year, Champagnat Catholics, Hector Clavijo. In 2018, he was pressed into duty for his team after an injury to its starting quarterback and managed to lead them to their first state title. In 2020, he was the star, throwing for 1,396 yards and 18 touchdowns and running for 268 yards and 2 TDs to help his team win its second championship in 3 years. The Broward 5A Independent Offensive Player of the Year, Cardinal Gibbons Brody Pelhegyi. He was the number 1 safety in the country and capped his celebrated high school career with his first state title. The defensive back logged 74 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries to help his team win its first state title since 2017. He's headed to Miami. The county's Defensive Player of the Year is American Heritage's James Williams. Both of these coaches have made history at their Broward County private schools, turning them into legitimate national superpowers in the last decade. Our first co-coach of the year took over in 2016 after Coach Mike Rumpf led American Heritage to back-to-back championships in 2013 and 14, and has now added 3 more state titles to the Patriots' history. He went back-to-back in 2016 and 17, added another this season. Our other co-coach of the year guided Cardinal Gibbons to its first state championship in 2018, then got the Chiefs right back in 2020 after a 1-year drought. Both teams finished the season ranked in the top 25 nationally. Our Broward 5A Independent Football co-coaches of the year are American Heritage's Patrick Sertan and Cardinal Gibbons' Matt Dubuque. And now it's classes 8A, 6A football. First up from Broward County, Zion Turner, St. Thomas Aquinas, Sedquan Smith, Plantation, Jesuin Patterson, Deerfield Beach, Anthony Hankerson, St. Thomas Aquinas, Joey Vega, Western, Jacoby George, Plantation, Jamal Edrine, Fort Lauderdale, Dion Small, Deerfield Beach, Mason Taylor, St. Thomas Aquinas, Devon Mortimer, Dillard, Desmond Reed, Miramar, Michael McLaughlin, Stoneman Douglas, Isaiah Bunn, Deerfield Beach, Joshua Sauki, St. Thomas Aquinas, Shamari Seymour, Plantation, Zachary Reinhardt, Western, Dallas Turner, St. Thomas Aquinas, Tyreek Sapp, St. Thomas Aquinas, Najalik Kelly, Dillard, Willie Vollmer, Coral Springs, Alton Tarber, Deerfield Beach, Jaden Hood, St. Thomas Aquinas, Javont Brown, Deerfield Beach, Tyrese Clowers, Dillard, Xavier Johnson, South Broward, Joshua Glaze, Plantation, Philip O'Brien Jr., Deerfield Beach, Jaden McBurrows, St. Thomas Aquinas, Isaiah Taylor, St. Thomas Aquinas, Omar Simpson Jr., Western, Trevon Martinez, Dillard, Jaden Gould, Deerfield Beach. And our first teamers from Miami-Dade in classes 8A, 6A are Fernando Mendoza, Columbus, Keon Jenkins, Central, Amari Daniels, Central, Javin Simpkins, Norland, Robert McMinn, Central, Christopher Gilbert, Columbus, Makai Lovett, Miami High, Gus McGee, Columbus, Yulkeith Brown, Central, Brashard Smith, Palmetto, Chamon Meteor, North Miami, Lawrence Seymour, Central, Jaron Sharon Jr., Central, Ryan Rodriguez, Columbus, Julian Armella, Columbus, Daryl Doctor, Palmetto, Leonard Taylor, Palmetto, Dwight Dassaw, Palmetto, Jabari Ishmael, Columbus, Dante Anderson, Homestead, Daniel Lyons, Homestead, Reuben Bain, Central, Terrence Lewis, Central, Rudy Jean Luis, Central, Wesley Besante, Central, Joseph Price, Columbus, Jason Marshall, Palmetto, Corey Collier, Palmetto, Cornelius Wright, Columbus, Ken Moore Jr., Columbus, Samari Dukes, Miami High, and Alejandro Prado, Columbus. This running back was his team's offensive engine, running for 1,178 yards and 14 touchdowns on 194 carries in only 7 games. They won their second state championship in a row, and he'll be back next year to try to make it 3 in a row. Our Broward 8A, 6A Offensive Player of the Year is Anthony Hankerson from St. Thomas Aquinas. He was the number 1 defensive end in the country and looked the part throughout his team's run to another state title. The edge rusher logged 41 tackles, 12 for loss, 13 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles as a senior. He's headed to Alabama. Our Broward 8A, 6A Defensive Player of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Dallas Turner. We have 2 Broward coaches sharing the 8A, 6A Coach of the Year award. The 2 co-coaches of the year were both champions. For one, it's the Standard. His team has won its 2nd straight state title and 5th in 7 years, and set a new FHSAA record with its 12th state championship overall. He has now been at the helm for 4 of them. For the other, he took the job under tragic circumstances. After Coach Eddie Frazier passed away in the summer, he took over this program and guided it to a Tri-County championship, outscoring opponents by an average of 34.3 points per game in the 6-game season. Our Broward 8A, 6A co-coaches of the year are Dillard's Tyler Tate and St. Thomas Aquinas' Roger Harriet. He was the singular driving force for his team on offense as they reached the state semifinals for the first time. He began the season as their number 1 wide receiver, then played quarterback throughout the postseason after an injury. A University of Miami signee, he ran for 613 yards and 3 touchdowns, logged 138 receiving yards and 3 more touchdowns, and also threw for a touchdown. Our Dade 8A, 6A Offensive Player of the Year, Palmetto's Brashard Smith. He was the number 1 defensive tackle in the country, and he played like it, piling up 51 tackles, 23 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 block kicks, 6 passes defended, and an interception to lead his team to its first state semifinal. He's headed to Miami next season. Our Dade 8A, 6A Defensive Player of the Year is Palmetto's Leonard Taylor. The 2 co-coaches of the year were both state champions. Our first guided his team to its 2nd straight state title despite playing only 6 quarters of regular season action, then advancing through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs via forfeit. Still, once the real games began, they cruised to the 7th FHSAA championship. For the other, his team was the reigning Class 8A champ, but opted out of the state series because of COVID-19. Instead, they played an ultra-competitive all-South Florida schedule and won a Tri-County title, even after losing their starting quarterback, All-American running back, and All-American wide receiver from 2019. Our Dade 8A, 6A co-coaches of the year are Central's Roland Smith and Columbus's Dave Dunn.
Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners.
And now we'll move over to the winter sports, starting with Dade cheerleading. Amanda Albello, Doral Academy. Victoria Gonzalez, Doral Academy. Victoria Padron, Doral Academy. Yanetti Somano, Doral Academy. Nicole Suarez, Doral Academy. Emily Cabrera, St. Brendan. Lourdes Guzman, St. Brendan. Frances Danielle Moreles, St. Brendan. Sophia Nasco, St. Brendan. Mia Roche, St. Brendan. Maria Castro, LaSalle. Megan Dominguez, LaSalle. Silvana Lavito, LaSalle. Isabella Rubio, LaSalle. Montse Vivas, LaSalle. Jelena Garcon, Monsignor Pace. Emily Hernandez, Monsignor Pace. Janine Penate, Monsignor Pace. And Yanissa Sosa, Monsignor Pace. Next up, Broward cheerleading. Allison Cohen, West Broward. Emily Leone, West Broward. Samantha Soskin, West Broward. Gabrielle Watson, West Broward. Mackenzie Bergs, Cooper City. Alicia Flores, Cooper City. Riley Patron, Cooper City. Amber Sanders, Cooper City. Alana Brown, Coral Springs Charter. Chandler Gentile, Coral Springs Charter. Carly Ruskin, Coral Springs Charter. Victoria Lofreda, Coral Springs Charter. Alexa Kuhn, Coral Gables. Madison Proper, Coral Gables. Nia Ellie, Miramar. Talia Lucas, Miramar. Alyssa Durgasing, Western. And Lauren Weinstein, Western. Not only did her team win a state title, they became the first in South Florida history to win a national title. The Dade Cheerleading Coach of the Year is LaSalle's Coral Buxeda. Her team won a regional title and finishes the state's runner-up in the Class 1A Small Tumbling Division. The Broward Cheerleading Coach of the Year is Coral Springs Charter's Rachel Garris. We'll now move on to wrestling. First up, our Broward County first team members. Christian Fretwell, Somerset Academy. Nicholas Yancey, Cardinal Gibbons. Elvis Solis, Somerset Academy. Ryan Anderson, Deerfield Beach. Skylar Caban, Somerset Academy. Chase Gillis, Somerset Academy. Tyler Cabral, Cardinal Gibbons. Bas Diaz, Somerset Academy. Darian Estevez, Somerset Academy. Terrell Taylor, Coral Springs Charter. Daniel Korchensky, Cardinal Gibbons. Danny Diaz, Somerset Academy. Michael Moss, St. Thomas Aquinas. Jaden Kinlock, American Heritage. Jared Campbell, Cypress Bay. And Matthew Jimenez, Somerset Academy. Our Miami-Dade first team wrestlers include Christian Guzman, Columbus. Christian Vasquez, Killian. Adrian Morales, South Dade. Daniel Martinez, Southwest. Robert Dusendang, Southwest. Sebastian Melguizo, Southwest. Alex Cuoto, South Dade. Benjamin Rogers, Matter Lakes. Adrian Nico, South Dade. Cordell White, South Dade. Cyrus Williams, Southridge. Brandon Marino, Southwest. Joshua Swan, South Dade. Craig Sillimon, South Dade. Sawyer Bartelt, South Dade. Christian Lager, Coral Reef. Ethan Vergara, Matter Lakes, and Adrian Sands, Southwest. We have co-wrestlers of the year in Broward this year. The first one, a perfect 24-0 in the 113-pound weight class on his way to a Class 1A crown. It's Cardinal Gibbons sophomore Nicholas Yancey. The second went 42-1 in the 152-pound division and won a 1A crown of his own. It's Somerset Academy senior Darian Estevez. 6 wrestlers from Dade County won individual state titles, but only one had a perfect season. The Dade Wrestler of the Year is South Dade freshman Sawyer Bartelt. His team swept the 1A team wrestling titles this year, claiming the duels title in January and riding 4 individual champions for the main state title in March. The Broward Wrestling Coach of the Year is Somerset Academy's Joseph Blasucci. It looked like the streak might come to an end after runner-up finishes at both the GMAC and regionals, but his team put up the results when they needed them. It ended with their 16th state wrestling team title. The Dade Wrestling Coach of the Year is South Dade's Vic Balmaceda.
Hi everyone, this is Dylan Castanera from Inter Miami. I wanted to just congratulate all of the Miami Herald Athletic Awards winners. It's been a really difficult year. What you guys have been able to accomplish is absolutely amazing, and I wish you guys all the best in the next step of your careers.
Let's now move on to Class 4A, 2A girls soccer. First, from Miami-Dade, Elisa Espinosa, Westminster Christian. Lindsay Gould, Ransom Everglades. Lexi Molina, Carrollton. Carolina Monterey, Westminster Christian. Allison Rodriguez, Miami Country Day. Rebecca Valdelomar, Miami Springs. Catalina Garcia, Gulliver Prep. Jessica Leith, Palmer Trinity. Rebecca Ormo, Mast. Olea Rakowskis, Gulliver. Sabrina Sousa, LaSalle. Isabella Abad, Mast. Mia Balestra, Ransom Everglades. Alexandra Darabo, Palmer Trinity. Carolina Pino, Carrollton. Megan Alvarez, St. Brendan. And Ashley Fonseca, LaSalle. And from Broward County, Jaylene De Freitas, Somerset Academy. Liliana Nava, Westminster Academy. Sydney Polivka, Cardinal Gibbons. Deborah Bien Aim, Cardinal Gibbons. Leah Finkelman, North Broward Prep. Savannah Hides, American Heritage. Jenna Matzat, North Broward Prep. Bailey Swaginis, Coral Springs Charter. Zoe Ziadi, Somerset Academy. Heather Astle, Cardinal Gibbons. Naima Freeman, American Heritage. Jessica Olivares, American Heritage. Madison Young, Cardinal Gibbons. Alexis DeVoe, Cardinal Gibbons. And Ashley Small, Pinecrest. This senior forward continued to show why she was one of the most dominant strikers in the county this season, finishing with 19 goals and 14 assists. She signed with Brown University. Our 4A2A Player of the Year is Ransom Everglades' Lindsay Gould. This defender shut down every opposing attack she faced this season, as her team allowed only 8 goals in 15 matches on their way to the Class 4A state championship. She has signed with the University of Florida. Our 4A2A Player of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Madison Young. This coach guided his team further than it had ever been before as they won a district title and advanced to the Class 3A state semifinals. Our 4A2A Coach of the Year is Westminster Christian's Antonio Boada. One of Broward County's veteran coaches, she finally was able to lead her team to a state championship this season after spending nearly 2 decades turning them into one of the county's most consistent programs. Our 4A2A Coach of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Margot Flack. We'll stick with girls soccer for our next set of awards, this time honoring those who competed in classes 7A, 5A. First up, Broward County. Mia Engelbart, Stoneman Douglas. Sophia Getz, Archbishop McCarthy. Camila Jimenez, Cypress Bay. Lily Katz, Archbishop McCarthy. Kayla Master, West Broward. Shay Medema, St. Thomas Aquinas. Megan Morgan, Cypress Bay. Sabrina Araujo Elorza, Pines Charter. Athena Chitty, Coral Glades. Barbie Garcia, Cypress Bay. Eliana Salama, Pines Charter. Vicky Alvarez, Stoneman Douglas. Kimmy Cover, Archbishop McCarthy. Inez O'Neill, St. Thomas Aquinas. And Sydney Bellamy, West Broward. And from Miami-Dade, May Lisa Atis, Crop. Catherine Green, Palmetto. Alexandra Ortega, Terra. Daniela Stanfield, Terra. Coco Aguiar, Lords. Jacine Alchek, Palmetto. Karina Leon, Coral Gables. Katerina Puig, Lords. Pietra Torden, Doral. Mia Calderon, Coral Gables. Angelina Gonsalves, Palmetto. Mia Ramos, Doral. Maya Rionda, Lords. Alexa Sanchez, Lords. And Mia Alexander, Lords. For this one, we have 2. First, this senior defender was one of the best shutdown defenders in the state this season, and her efforts helped her squad return to the Class 5A state final. She's headed to Brown University. Our 7A, 5A Co-Player of the Year is Archbishop McCarthy's Kimmy Cover. Our other winner finished with 5 goals and 4 assists in 9 matches during the COVID-19 shortened season. She also had the game winner in an all-Broward state semifinal win over Douglas. She is Cypress Bay junior midfielder Barbara Garcia. This senior defender anchored her team's defensive efforts as they allowed only 5 goals in 16 matches on their way to another appearance in the Class 6A state final. She finished the year with 5 goals and 4 assists and is signed with Emory University. Our 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Lords Academy's Alexa Sanchez. This coach's team was hit hard with COVID-19 pandemic issues, which limited them to playing only 9 matches overall. Despite these setbacks and having only 5 seniors, they went undefeated until returning to the Class 7A state final. Our 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Cypress Bay's Kate Dwyer. This coach continued to keep his team as the top overall team in the county with another dominant season in which they only allowed 5 goals and defeated several state powers on their way to the Class 6A state final. Our 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Lords Academy's Ramiro Vengochea.
Hey guys, Sammy Nadiri here. Just want to congratulate the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners. Your hard work has paid off in a very tough year.
Let's stay on the pitch and move to our boys' soccer teams. First up, The top players from classes 4A, 2A from Miami-Dade: Norman Alvarez, Slam; Jack Butler, Westminster Christian; Stefano Dumas, Miami Country Day; Franco Grotolo, Mast; Danny Mendoza, Ransom Everglades; Jack Epstein, Gulliver; Luis Mendoza, Divine Savior; Juan Rivera, Ransom Everglades; David Ruiz, Slam; Sean Maresma, Westminster Christian; Enzo Lagrasa, Miami Country Day; Hugo Ortega, Gulliver; Sebastian Poulin, Palmer Trinity; Jasper Broad, Ransom Everglades; and Johnny Gleason, Westminster Christian. And from Broward, Martin Campadelli, North Broward Prep; Jaden Clunas, Westminster Academy; Christian Doler, North Broward Prep; Nigel Muirhead, American Heritage; Sebastian Rodriguez, Somerset; Peyton Caja, Highlands Christian; Carlos Echevers, Somerset; Greg Pryen, Cardinal Gibbons; Ethan Strati, North Broward Prep; Thomas Vera, Cardinal Gibbons; Danny Arcia, American Heritage; Willie Xavier, Highlands Christian; Ethan Rose, Westminster Academy; Daniel Del Toro, Cardinal Gibbons; and Grant Rodriguez, Cardinal Gibbons. This senior forward's ability to not just score goals, but create quick strike opportunities in the open field made him one of the most dangerous players in the state this season. His efforts helped his team win a district title and make it to the Class 3A regional semifinals. He's signed with the University of Chicago. Our 4A, 2A Player of the Year is Ransom Everglades' Danny Mendoza. This senior midfielder finished with a school record 22 assists and had 5 goals while leading his team to an undefeated regular season. He is headed to East Tennessee State in the fall. Our 4A, 2A Player of the Year is North Broward Prep's Ethan Strati. We'll start with Dade. In his 8th season with the program, this coach guided his team to multiple thrilling victories in the playoffs and ultimately the school's first appearance in a state championship match. Our 4A, 2A Coach of the Year is Westminster Christian's Josh Kirk. And in Broward, despite having only 5 club players on his squad, this coach's team won their first ever regional title, clinching their first state semifinals appearance. Our 4A, 2A Coach of the Year is Westminster Academy's Chris Lamar. To close out soccer, it's time for the top players from classes 7A, 5A. First from Broward County: Mateus Alves, Monarch; Patricio Cardenas, Cypress Bay; Giovanni Garcia, Coral Glades; Mario Simoes, Fort Lauderdale; Jack Simpkin, Pines Charter; Juan Collasos, Fort Lauderdale; Giancarlo Dostilio, Cypress Bay; Noah Mancia, Cypress Bay; Camilo Prado, Fort Lauderdale; Juan Solorzano, South Broward; Aiden Binion, Fort Lauderdale; Gabe Gersberg, Douglas; Matthew Gordon, Pines Charter; Fernando Velasco, St. Thomas Aquinas; and Sam Usher, Archbishop McCarthy. And now from Miami-Dade: Manuel Calvo, Doral; Emiliano Sosa, Belen Jesuit; Gianluca Mejia, Belen Jesuit; Julian Munoz, Varela; Daniel Romero, Doral; David Sierra, Miami Beach; Rodrigo Velasco, Columbus; Gabriel Bringas, Columbus; Jordan Larco, Palmetto; Lucas Mongi, Belen Jesuit; Aaron Tamaris, Doral; Christian Vieira, Varela; Nicholas Leebuckler, Columbus; Manuel Rincon, Belen Jesuit; and Giorgio Rubiano, Doral. This senior forward finished with 19 goals and 7 assists in his return to the high school season after a year playing club. His efforts helped his squad make it to the Class 6A regional finals. Our 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Fort Lauderdale's Mario Simoes. We have 2 in a year where there were 2 state champions. This senior was one of the best shutdown defenders in the state and helped control the midfield for his team's potent attack. His efforts helped his squad win its first ever state championship. Our first 7A, 5A Co-Player of the Year is Doral Academy's Aaron Tamares. Our other winner was an integral part of his team's run to the Class 5A state championship with 14 goals and 3 assists. Our other 7A, 5A co-player of the year is Belen Jesuits' Emiliano Sosa. This coach had one of the most dominant teams in South Florida and guided them to the Class 6A regional finals before falling on penalty kicks to the eventual state champions. Our 7A, 5A coach of the year is Fort Lauderdale's Maureen Snipe. In her 13th season, this coach accomplished a significant first when she became the first woman to lead a boys soccer program to a state championship in state history. Our 7A, 5A co-coach of the year is Doral Academy's Pamela McDonald. Our other co-coach of the year recipient led his team to their second state championship and their first since 2016. Our other co-coach of the year is Belen Jesuits' Tanger Mendonca.
Hey, this is Shane Battier from the Miami Heat. I want to congratulate all of the Miami Herald
Miami
Athletic
High
Award winners this year.
Let's now move from the pitch to the hardwood. First up, our girls basketball first teamers in classes 4A, 2A. In Miami-Dade, Gabriela Bendek, Miami Christian. And Juliana Gonzalez, Miami Christian. Amari Hunter, Somerset Academy, Silver Palms. Natalie Laraniega, Schoolhouse Prep. Andrea Daly, Miami Country Day. And Kayla Nelms, Miami Country Day. And in Broward, Emma Walhoff, Westminster Academy. Claire Erickson, Westminster Academy. Elizabeth Schnell, Calvary Christian Academy. Ashley Battle, Cardinal Gibbons. Charal McCormick, Cardinal Gibbons. And Bianca Francis, Highlands Christian. She averaged 19.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 3.2 steals to help her team win its 7th state title in Miami High. Seasons. And she's headed to George Washington. Our Miami-Dade 4A Independent Girls Basketball Player of the Year is Miami Country Day's Andrea Daly. She averaged 17 points and 6 rebounds per game to help her team reach the region championship. She's headed to Southern Mississippi. Our Broward 4A Independent Player of the Year is Westminster Academy's Emma Walhoff. He took a team with 4 underclassmen starters and guided it to its 7th state championship in 8 years, and she led her team to its first ever state title in her 2nd season as coach. Our Dade 4A Independent Co-Coaches of the Year are Miami Country Day's Ochil Swaby and Miami Christian's Chanel Davila. They were once again a contender in Broward County, and he guided them to a region championship game. Our Broward 4A Independent Coach of the Year is Westminster Academy's Shannon Walloff. Next will be our classes 7A, 5A girls basketball top performers. From Broward, Samara Spencer, St. Thomas Aquinas. Jalea Williams, Blanche Ely. Sydney Shaw, American Heritage. Karina Gordon, St. Thomas Aquinas. Tatiana Weish, American Heritage. And Talia Weish, American Heritage. And from Miami-Dade, Jaya Harris-Smith, Norland. Kiara Cruz, Miami High. Janae Quinn, Miami High. Lindsay Weingard, Dr. Kropp. Emily Mayer, Lord's Academy. And Kayla Clark, Central. Playing in perhaps the most competitive district in the state, she averaged 16.7 points and 5.8 rebounds per game to lead her team to its first state championship. She's headed to Arkansas. Our Broward 7A, 5A Player of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Samara Spencer. This Ole Miss signee averaged 13.3 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds per game to help her team reach the region championship. Our Dade 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Norland's Jaya Harris-Smith. 2 years after they lost in heartbreaking fashion in the 2019 state championship, he got them back to Lakeland and won their first state title. And our other coach guided his team to its 4th straight state title, an incredible feat, especially considering they had never won before this 4-year run began. Our Broward 7A, 5A co-coaches of the year are St. Thomas Aquinas' Oliver Behrens and American Heritage's Greg Farias. After losing 6 seniors from his 2020 state title-winning team, his squad got back to the state championship for the 4th straight year. He admitted he didn't expect his team to be a typical defensive juggernaut, but it became one anyway. Our Dade 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Miami High's Sam Baumgarten. We'll wrap up our winter sports by honoring the area's top boys basketball players. First up, the best in the 4A, 2A division. From Miami-Dade, that includes Arturo Dean, Calusa Prep, Jasai Miles, Miami Country Day, Jordan Cook, Miami Country Day, Joey Brown, Florida Christian, Dominic Nelson, Archbishop Carroll, and James Henderson Jr., Westminster Christian. And our Broward representatives are Amen Thompson, Pinecrest, Asar Thompson, Pinecrest, Greg Glenn, Calvary Christian Academy, Taylor Hendricks, Calvary Christian Academy, Ben Middlebrooks, Westminster Academy, and Justin Abson, North Broward Prep. He averaged 25.6 assists and 3 steals per game and helped his team finish as the runner-up in the highly competitive Sunshine Independent Athletic Association. Our Dade 4A Independent Player of the Year is Calusa Prep's Arturo Dean. One of them led his team in scoring with 22.6 points per game, but the other wasn't far behind at 20.5, and he rescued their squad in the state championship, scoring 43 points in a double overtime win after his twin brother fouled out. Our Broward 4A Independent Co-Players of the Year are Pinecrest Amen Thompson and Asar Thompson. His team lost 9 of 11 early in the season before righting the ship. They regrouped and won 7 in a row down the stretch to make the Final Four for the first time in program history. Our Dade 4A Independent Coach of the Year is Miami Country Day's Ralph Mata. Both of these coaches coached powerhouses this year, but both of their teams were on the ropes in their state championships. One rallied from an 8-point deficit with 45 seconds left in overtime to win its 4th state title, and the other overcame a 12-point deficit in the second half to win its 2nd championship. Our Broward 4A Independent Co-Coaches of the Year are Calvary Christian's Silk McSweeney and Pinecrest Ike Smith. Last but not least for winter sports, our Class 7A, 5A boys basketball recognition. The Broward list consists of Jeffrey Sprouse, Pembroke Pines Charter, Colby King, Pembroke Pines Charter, Gary Adam, Western, Kamari McMillan, Miramar, Matthew Robinson Jr., Western, and Brennan White, Dillard. And from Miami-Dade, Ryan Sanchez, Mater Academy Charter, Cameron Johnson, Norland, Desmond Romer, Coral Gables, Jamel Lane, Mater Academy Charter, Karan Bryant, Coral Gables, and Reggie Luis, Columbus Senior. He averaged 16.1 points per game and led his team in scoring in the final 4 games to guide them to their first ever state championship. Our Broward 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Pembroke Pines Charter's Colby King. He averaged 23.6 assists and 4 steals per game, and his team won its first district title since 2016, then went to the region semifinals. Our Dade 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Coral Gables' Desmond Romer. In his 2nd year as coach, he guided his team to the state Final Four for the first time, and it came a year after he took them to the region championship for the first time. Our Broward 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Western's Alan Hardy. After the sudden passing of his father, legendary coach Shaky Rodriguez, he took the helm just weeks before the regular season began and led his team to the brink of its first state title, reaching the championship game for the first time in program history. Our Dade 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Mater Academy's Eric Rodriguez. Now it is time to present this year's Leo Suarez Walter Creech Courage Award. This award is named for former Miami Herald editors Leo Suarez and Walter Creech, who were enthusiastic supporters of high school sports coverage in the Herald. Both passed away well before their time, but their memory and legacy live on with this annual award. Each year, this award recognizes an individual or team that faces adversity with courage and grit. In much the same way, our frontline medical heroes have not only been courageous throughout this pandemic, but have also treated their patients with compassion and empathy. This year, we have invited Baptist Health South Florida, representing all of the courageous frontline medical heroes, to help us recognize our 2021 Courage Award recipients.
Our first 2021 Leo Suarez Walter Kreis Courage Award goes to a team that lost its coach even before the season began. But not just any coach. They lost one of the legends in South Florida basketball in Shaky Rodriguez. And yet his team, under the tutelage of his son Eric, went 21-3 and put together their best season in school history as they advanced to the Class 6A state championship game. Ladies and gentlemen, today we honor the resilience and courage of our first Leo Suarez Walter Kreis Courage Award recipient, the Matter Academy boys basketball team. After honoring his players and legacy, we now honor the man who was one of South Florida's basketball's all-time coaching giants with our first Lifetime Achievement Award, Marcos Shaky Rodriguez. Coach Rodriguez suffered a brain aneurysm in November and passed away at the age of 67. He made his name as Miami High's coach in the late 1980s when he led his team to 5 state titles with some of the most dominant teams in Florida history. Among the players who competed on Rodriguez's Stings were Doug Edwards, who went on to become an NBA first-round pick, Gimel Martinez, who played for the Kentucky Wildcats, and Ramos, who played for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Miami High made it to 6 state finals overall in an amazing 7-year stretch. In 1995, Coach Rodriguez inherited the 11-19 FIU team and turned it around almost immediately. By 1996-1997, the Panthers and Coach Rodriguez went 16-13 in their first winning season in 4 years. The next season, FIU went 21-8, setting school records that still stand in terms of total wins and winning percentage of .724. Rodriguez left FIU after he went 16-14 in 1999-2000, and he had an overall winning record at the school at 79-66. During his 5-year tenure there, Rodriguez coached perhaps the 2 best players in FIU history, Raja Bell and Carlos Arroyo, both of whom played in the NBA. But it was the impact he had off the court that left a lasting impression on the lives of those he coached. Ramos, who also served as the assistant coach to Rodriguez when he coached at FIU, said, "I walked into Miami High as a troubled youth in 1985, and Shaky took me in. He helped so many people, but he never took any credit." Rodriguez also mentored a pair of the nation's top basketball head coaches in Frank Martin, who led South Carolina to the Final Four in 2017, and Anthony Grant, who led Dayton to a number 3 national ranking during the 2019-2020 season. Rodriguez would later coach at Crop, another team he'd lead to the state Final Four in 2010, and later at Matter Academy in recent years while still coaching on the AAU circuit. Shaky coached with a confidence and swagger that came from intense preparation, according to former Miami High coach Marcos Sereno. "It wasn't arrogance," Sereno said, "but Shaky was a worker. His attitude was, I live and breathe basketball, this is what I do. And when he walked out on the floor, you knew he was in charge." Today, we honor a true coaching legend as we present our Lifetime Achievement Award to Marcos Shaky Rodriguez.
Hey guys, Jay Chapman here. Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners. Your hard work has paid off in a very tough year. Good luck in the next steps.
And now, after not being able to hand these out a year ago, since their seasons were canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we once again present our Spring Season Awards. We'll start with badminton. Here are the first teamers: Oliver Peralta, Hialeah Gardens; Feby Dominguez, Ferguson; Jeremy Nichols, Crop; Jonathan Nichols, Crop; Andrea Acevedo, Ferguson. Gabriela Lopez, Ferguson. Aiden Kong, Palmetto. And Ella Sleeman, Palmetto. This senior, also a basketball player at her school, secured her first individual GMAC championship and helped her team secure its first county championship. Our Girls Player of the Year is Ferguson's Febe Dominguez. After losing early on, this senior battled back through the boys' singles bracket and won 2 hard-fought matches to secure his first GMAC title. The Boys Player of the Year is Hialeah Gardens' Oliver Peralta. In the 16th season since this coach started this program, he guided his team through a tough season due to the pandemic and watched them win their first GMAC championship. Our Coach of the Year is Ferguson's Richard Lopez.
Congratulations to all the Miami Herald's Athletic Awards winners.
Next we go to the tennis court. Here are the girls' first teamers for Broward. Cadence Brace, Stoneman Douglas. Akasha Urhobo, Pinecrest. Natalie Block, American Heritage. Tally Licht, Cooper City. Patricia Akra, Somerset Academy. Amanda Aponte, Douglas. Ava Grinja, University School. And Daniela Porges, University School. And here are the Dade girls. Valeria Ray, Doral. Valeria Centennial, Doral. Natalie Vander Rees, Palmetto. Isabella Rojas, LaSalle. Sasha Kilgore, Riviera Prep. Ayami Mehama, Crop. Patricia Palencia, Doral. Jimena Menendez, Carrollton. And Julieta Menendez, Carrollton. This sophomore was perfection on both the singles and doubles courts this year and was the Class 4A individual state champion in both as a result. The Broward Girls Tennis Player of the Year is Stoneman Douglas's Cadence Brace. This sophomore racked up all the hardware this year. Junior Orange Bowl champion, team state champion, individual double and single state champion. The Dade Girls Tennis Player of the Year is Doral Academy's Valeria Ray. His team endured a grueling 6-hour regional final before posting 3 consecutive sweeps in the state series to claim the school's first girls tennis title since 2015. The Broward Girls Tennis Coach of the Year is Plantation American Heritage's Tobias Croak. His team was consistently ranked among the top in the country this year and finished the year with a 3rd consecutive state title. The Dade Girls Tennis Coach of the Year is Doral Academy's Justin Hupo. And now here are the boys tennis first teamers. First in Dade, Julian Morgan, Ferguson. Sebastian Rondon, Crop. Francisco Montagna, Palmetto. Pierce Garbett, Gulliver Prep. Sam Gelber, Ransom. Luis Fernandez, Doral. Jonathan Irwanto, Crop. Grayson Williams, Doral. And Peyton Williams, Doral. And now for Broward, Jameson Corsillo, Pinecrest. Christopher Cancelado, Somerset Academy. Sumed Adavaluri, Pembroke Pines Charter. Andrew Hayes, Deerfield Beach. Andrew Paraverzes, Pinecrest. Chris Bogelin, Calvary Christian. And James Germinal, Calvary Christian. This junior played in the #1 spot for both singles and doubles on a state championship team and also won the overall state doubles title for Class 4A. The Dade Boys Tennis Player of the Year is Crop's Sebastian Rondon. This senior capped off his final prep season with a perfect record at #1 singles and a 7-2 record at #1 doubles. He led his team to its first team state title since 2012 and also claimed the Class 2A overall individual single and doubles titles. The Broward Boys Tennis Player of the Year is Pinecrest's Jameson Corsillo. We had 2 boys teams in Dade win state titles this year, so we're going to split the Dade Boys Tennis Coach of the Year award. The winners are Crop's Carlos Mehama and Doral Academy's Justin Hupo. An undefeated season ended in the school's second ever boys state tennis title. The Broward Boys Tennis Coach of the Year is Pinecrest's Corey Marsh. And now for lacrosse. Let's start with the Dade Girls. Ellie Dyke, Ransom Everglades. Vanessa Serrano, Palmetto. Sophia Agurcia, Miami Country Day. Samantha Berlan, Palmetto. Cassandra Cefilio, Palmetto. Claire Bowden, Coral Reef. Carolina Hassan, Gulliver Prep. Rachel Bienstock, Ransom Everglades. Maya Rigo, Ransom Everglades. Joelle Pena, Ransom Everglades. Sloan Sell, Ransom Everglades. Riley Endara, Palmetto. Anna Christensen, Palmetto. Helena Harris, Ransom Everglades. And Stefania Athanasio, Coral Reef. And for Broward, Taylor McLean, Pinecrest. J.C. Engelhard, Cypress Bay. Sydney Hoover, Western. Carly Fleischer, Stoneman Douglas. Perry Riegner, St. Thomas Aquinas. Lauren Figas, Stoneman Douglas. Sammy Fisher, Stoneman Douglas. Sophia Lehrman, Pinecrest. Ella Bashara, Pinecrest. Ava Jovino, St. Thomas Aquinas. Sophia Gutman, St. Thomas Aquinas. Ava Martino, St. Thomas Aquinas. Amanda McCabe, St. Thomas Aquinas. Emma Gelch, Western. And Skylar Troyan, St. Thomas Aquinas. She did a little bit of everything for the top team in Miami-Dade County. She scored 26 goals and dished out 33 assists, grabbed 28 ground balls, caused 10 turnovers, and won 7 draw controls. Our Dade Player of the Year is Ellie Dyke from Ransom Everglades. It was an excellent year for girls lacrosse in Broward County, with about half a dozen players headed to Division I programs next year, and St. Thomas Aquinas reaching the state championship once again. The Raiders' midfield leader is our Player of the Year this season after she scored 34 goals and handed out 26 assists for the top team in Broward County. As a junior, she has already committed to Navy. Our Broward Player of the Year is Ava Jovino from St. Thomas Aquinas. For the 6th straight year, her team reached the FHSAA postseason, the only team from Miami-Dade County to do so this year. Her team went unbeaten against Dade County competition and allowed just 2.2 goals per game against county foes. Our Coach of the Year is Jackie Kirsthart from Ransom Everglades. A year ago, he thought he had a state championship team until the COVID-19 pandemic abruptly cut short the 2021 season and the high school careers of 11 seniors, most of whom were there when the team lost in the title game in 2017. 4 years later, Broward County has a state champion for only the second time, and our Coach of the Year is Kevin Gilligan from St. Thomas Aquinas. And now for the boys lacrosse players. First from Dade, Victor Rosado, Belen Jesuit. Dylan Weinberg, Palmetto. Ryan Noyes, Gulliver Prep. Matthew Handel, Westminster Christian. Victor Major, Belen Jesuit. Mark Adams, Belen Jesuit. Tyler Cancio, Gulliver Prep. Kyle Goldberg, Gulliver Prep. Alex Munoz, Palmetto. Jacob Angulo, Columbus. Juan Carmenat, Columbus. Andres Villa, Belen Jesuit. Juan Miro Quesada, Belen Jesuit. Elijah Castaño, Columbus. And Christopher Lopetegui, Westminster Christian. And now Broward, Colin Servos, Pinecrest. Ethan Heim, American Heritage. Trace McDonald, St. Thomas Aquinas. Robert Berry, Western. Jordan Sullivan, Stoneman Douglas. Colby Geddes, Pinecrest. Jordan Faison, Pinecrest. Matthew Troupkala, St. Thomas Aquinas. Samuel Whitaker, St. Thomas Aquinas. Antonio Dominguez, St. Thomas Aquinas. Connor Marone, American Heritage. Nate Bitar, Pinecrest. Nicholas Bates, Calvary Christian Academy. Jared Chenoy, St. Thomas Aquinas. and Jake Merrick, American Heritage. He was the offensive engine for the best team in Miami-Dade County this year, scoring 66 goals and adding 61 assists, despite being the focus of every opponent's defensive efforts. He'll head to Catholic University in Washington next year to continue his lacrosse career. Our Dade Player of the Year is Victor Rosado from Belen Jesuit. He was much more than just a face-off specialist for the best team in Broward County. This midfielder scored 25 goals and dished out 9 assists to go along with his nearly 90% win rate on face-offs. He is headed to Richmond next season. Our Broward Player of the Year is Jared Chenoy from St. Thomas Aquinas. His team went further than any other in Miami-Dade County with a trip to the Region Championship for the second time in 4 years. His team took an undefeated record into the postseason, just 2 years removed from missing the region playoffs altogether. Our Dade Coach of the Year is Alan Belando from Belen Jesuit. His team once again went further than any other team in Broward County, to the brink of another trip to the Final Four. With only 2 regular season losses and an undefeated record against county opponents, our Broward Coach of the Year is Terry Crowley from St. Thomas Aquinas. Next, we present our flag football first teams. Let's start with Broward. Sydney Ford, Western. Veronica McBride, Western. Naya Rampot, Western. Sydney Brennan, Western. Keely Allen, Western. Juliana Velasquez, Somerset Academy. Ada Chinye, Somerset Academy. Yanni Honan, Cooper City. Isabella Rioliano, Cooper City. Allie LaLance, Monarch. Megan Duckett, Monarch. And Ella Casey, Pompano Beach. And now Dade. Renisha Gibbs, Edison. Carol Cadet, Edison. Lanesha Howell, Edison. Alexandria Harris, Edison. Yanzi Montgomery, Ferguson. Rayona Baker, Monsignor Pace. Cameron Corporan, Monsignor Pace. Amari Hunter, Somerset Academy, Silver Palms. Lindsay Weingard, Dr. Kropp. Dominique Parks, Hialeah Gardens. Janae Quinn, Miami High. And Kirsten Roll, Southridge. It was a historic season for our Player of the Year, both statistically and in the win column. She threw for more than 3,000 yards as a quarterback and grabbed 6 interceptions as a linebacker and guided her team to new heights. Her school had never been to a Final Four before she guided them to its first state championship final appearance this season. Our Broward Player of the Year is Sydney Ford from Western. Our Player of the Year did a lot on both sides of the ball for the best team in Miami-Dade County. She piled up more than 1,600 all-purpose yards on offense. On defense, she grabbed more than 20 interceptions and logged more than 50 sacks. With her contributions, Edison made it to the state semifinals for the 3rd time. Our Dade Player of the Year is Alexandria Harris from Edison. In 2018, he guided his team to its first region championship. Then it went back in 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic halted the 2020 campaign. This year, he guided Western to its first state final and within 1 point of a state championship. Our Broward Coach of the Year is James O'Brien from Western. Under his leadership, his team has become the standard in Miami-Dade County, with trips to at least the region championship in 5 straight postseasons and now 3 trips to the state semifinals. Our Dade Coach of the Year is Vince Hall from Edison. We go next to water polo. We'll start with the Dade Girls. Isabella Perez, Miami Beach. Chloe Cartledge, Miami Country Day. Sabrina Morata, Miami Country Day. Sabrina Shipley, Ransom Everglades. Mary Logan Woolsey, Ransom Everglades. Alyssa Pasquale, Gulliver Prep. Callie Ganser, Gulliver Prep. Gabby Montalvo, Gulliver Prep. And Allison Keepax, Gulliver Prep. And now for Broward. Sydney DeVroat, South Broward. Stella Diaguardi, Pembroke Pines Charter. Kathia Jaramillo, Pembroke Pines Charter. Abby Weissman, Westminster Academy. Emma Weissman, Westminster Academy. Olivia Weissman, Westminster Academy. Charlotte Lucas, Fort Lauderdale. Samantha Kingard, Coral Springs. And Juanita Montoya, Coral Springs. With more than 80 goals and 80 steals, she was a two-way menace for the best team in South Florida. She also added nearly 40 assists as the offensive engine for the state runner-up. Our Dade Player of the Year is Alyssa Pasquale from Gulliver Prep. In a season filled with uncertainty because of the COVID-19 pandemic, she was one of the most productive players in all of Florida. She scored 80 goals, handed out 72 assists. She racked up 98 steals and 42 blocks. She's headed to Elon next year to continue her career. Our Player of the Year is Sydney DeVroot from South Broward. After 2 years of falling behind Miami-Dade County opponents, her team returned to the forefront of girls water polo in South Florida. Her team returned to the state championship for the first time since 2017 and the third time since 2013. Our Dade Coach of the Year is Carol Vaughn from Gulliver Prep. Her school had long had one of the premier programs in Florida, but it had been in a little bit of a drought, without a trip to the region playoffs since 2015. This year, they were back and made it all the way to the Final Four for the first time since 2012. Our Broward Coach of the Year is Daniel Serkols from Westminster Academy. Next, we introduce the boys water polo first teamers. First from Broward, Luxa Vlasic, St. Thomas Aquinas. Giovanni Franco, St. Thomas Aquinas. Arnaldo Castillo, St. Thomas Aquinas. Michael Bailing, Cypress Bay. Alejandro Schmidt, Cypress Bay. Nicholas Gomez, Cooper City. Keith Rogers, Fort Lauderdale. Nicholas Pototsky, Coral Springs. And Tyler Solorzano, Coral Springs. And for Dade, Carlos Vecchio, Belen Jesuit. Dylan Vecchio, Belen Jesuit. Victor Schultz, Morning. Lucas Gomez, Ransom Everglades. Bruno Rabesi, Gulliver Prep. J.C. Pompa, Gulliver Prep. Awal K. Ramos, Gulliver Prep. Hayat K. Ramos, Gulliver Prep. And Kamal K. Ramos, Gulliver Prep. He filled the stat sheet for the best team in Broward County, scoring 86 goals with 35 assists, 36 steals, and 32 blocks to help his team reach the state semifinals. Our Broward Player of the Year, Luxa Vlasic from St. Thomas Aquinas. He capped his high school career with a second straight state title and 65 straight victories, and he was the leader for the best team in Miami-Dade County, scoring more than 60 goals and leading Gulliver Prep with 7 assists in the championship game. Our Dade Player of the Year is Bruno Rabesi from Gulliver Prep. His team was once again the class of Broward County, reaching the state semifinals for the 9th straight postseason and the 10th time in 11 tries. With an undefeated record against county opponents, our Broward Coach of the Year is Michael Goldenberg from St. Thomas Aquinas. It meant waiting 2 years, but her team defended its state championship in 2021, winning its 5th state title and her 4th. With an undefeated record, our Dade Coach of the Year is Carol Vaughn from Gulliver Prep. And now we head to the track and first introduce the Dade Girls Track and Field team. Alyssa Jones, Southridge. Paulina Guerra, Gulliver. Nicole Rodriguez, Goldman. Kiara Moss, South Miami. Garage Johnson, North Miami. Skahina Tresvant, Northwestern. Tamaya Kuntz, North Miami. Amanda Kinlock, North Miami. Crystal Rodriguez, Coral Reef. Aaliyah Butler, Northwestern. Jenna Mickens Malik, Mater Academy. Penelope Sosa, Coral Park. Maya Maycock, North Miami. Terica Gibson, North Miami. Carrie Snipes, North Miami. Lene Hunter, Northwestern. Michelle Petite Point, Northwestern. Cachet Smith, Northwestern. and Journey Janik, Northwestern. Now for the Broward girls. Adia Fry, St. Thomas Aquinas. Sydney Nicholson, Archbishop McCarthy. Morgan King, North Broward Prep. Hannah Fowler, Pinecrest. Anaya Holloway, Hallandale. Jade Shakir, Dillard. Jada Joseph, American Heritage. Lauren Thomas, St. Thomas Aquinas. Sherry Ann Norton, American Heritage. Ashley Fitzgerald, American Heritage. Mackenzie Osher, North Broward Prep. Alexis Glasgow, St. Thomas Aquinas. Shail Johnson, St. Thomas Aquinas. Jasani Carter, Flanagan. Bernadette LaFleur, American Heritage. Mirka Cadet, American Heritage. Shania Washington, American Heritage. Sydney Studsville, American Heritage. Kenya Thompson, American Heritage. Brittany Chatfield, St. Thomas Aquinas. Faith Wallace, St. Thomas Aquinas. And Danielle Martinez, St. Thomas Aquinas. This talented junior showed why she's one of the most highly recruited athletes in the state by putting on a show at the Class 4A meet. She took home championships in the long jump, high jump, and 100 meters and finished second in the 200 with the county's fastest time in that event. Her efforts helped her team finish second overall. The Dade Girls Track Athlete of the Year is Southridge's Alyssa Jones. This senior propelled her team to a third consecutive state championship by winning the long jump, 100-meter hurdles, and helping the 400-meter relay team to victory in Class 4A. She is headed to the University of North Carolina in the fall. The Broward Girls Track Athlete of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Adia Fry. This coach added another trophy to her school's extensive collection after they won their state-leading 17th championship. They also extended a state record championship streak to 12 consecutive seasons. The Dade Girls Track Coach of the Year is Miami Northwestern's Carmen Jackson. This veteran coach guided his team to a third consecutive state championship and their 14th overall, which ranks second all-time in state history. The Broward Girls Coach of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Alex Armenteros. And now for the boys track and field team, starting with Miami-Dade. Christian Stirrup, Champagnat Catholic. Nicholas Sauto, Belen Jesuit. Brandon Pottinger, Palmer Trinity. Gustavo Alfonso, Columbus. Tyler Washington, Killian. Terrence Huggins, Killian. Bryson Stouffer, Columbus. Brian Holt, Jackson. Jamari Sharp, Northwestern. Javier Vento, Belen Jesuit. Mekki Gammons, Hialeah, Miami Lakes. Darren McQueen, Columbus. Adrian Bichara, Columbus. Trymaine Brown, Northwestern. Amir Foster, Columbus. Denham Desrosiers, Columbus. Vershad Quinn, Columbus. Ken Moore, Columbus. Jalen Rogers, Northwestern. Daniel Jean Charles, Northwestern. Nazir Ward, Northwestern. Malcolm Brown, Columbus. Alvaro Canarte, Columbus. And Christian Ivanette, Columbus. And for Broward, Edward Lewis, Dillard. Sam Murkey, Cardinal Gibbons. Kennedy Souder, Calvary Christian. Jack Gary, Calvary Christian. Emil Amy, University School. Isaiah Shaw, Douglas. Amari Avon, Pembroke Pines Charter. Jerry Philippe, Dillard. Devon Mortimer, Dillard. Michael Fiore, Fort Lauderdale. Sean Watkins, St. Thomas Aquinas. Sheldon McCullum, Douglas. Humberto Ramirez, Fort Lauderdale. DeMarcus Allen, Dillard. Chris Johnson, Dillard. Renan Jean, Dillard. Rushane Miller, Dillard. Tajay Roberts, Dillard. And Jakari Shakes, Dillard. This senior capped a stellar career by winning state championships in the 1600 and 3200 meters. He was also part of a state runner-up 3200 relay team and helped his squad secure a runner-up team finish in Class 3A. He will compete for the University of Florida beginning this fall. The Dade Boys Track Athlete of the Year is Belen Jesuits' Javier Vento. He held the fastest time in the state in the 110 hurdles during most of the season. He finished runner-up in both hurdles events and helped the 400-meter relay team secure a state title. Our Broward Boys Track Athlete of the Year is Dillard's Jerry Philippe. This veteran coach led his team to a state runner-up finish in Class 3A, its best finish at state since winning the school's lone state title in 2007. The Dade Boys Track Coach of the Year is Belen Jesuits' Victor Arrieta. After a decade building toward this moment, this coach finally saw his team secure their first state title with a dominant victory in Class 3A, which included 3 relay titles. Our Broward Boys Coach of the Year is Dillard's Davidson Gill. And now we head over to the volleyball courts. Here's the Dade Boys' first team. Sean Bowler, Slam. Ignacio Brito, Columbus. Gabriel Cabanzone, Miami High. Oscar Familia, Palmetto. John Marcos Gonzalez, Braddock. Jack Hirschman, Southwest. Alejandro Leon, Southwest. Denzel Madrigal, Miami High. And Joel Romero, Sunset. Here's Broward. Gabriel Blandon, Cypress Bay. Colton Buiter, South Broward. Alejandro Correa, Cypress Bay. Logan Kiavafi, Cardinal Gibbons. Corey Grant, Flanagan. Jackson Leahy, Flanagan. Cameron Thorne, South Broward. And Thiago Zemprogno, Cardinal Gibbons. First, our Dade Player of the Year. This senior outside hitter totaled 389 kills, 87 aces, and 139 digs leading up to the state tournament as he propelled his team toward another push for a state championship. He is headed to St. Francis College in the fall. Our Dade Player of the Year is Southwest's Jack Hirschman. This 6'6" sophomore middle hitter is already on the radar of Division I programs and one of the top players in the state. This season he totaled 166 kills, 71 blocks, and 42 service points while leading his team to state. Our Broward Player of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons' Thiago Zemprogno. First in Dade, this coach is only in his second year at his alma mater and may have already started something special after leading them to their first state appearance since 2004. Our Dade Coach of the Year is Miami High's Rafael Cabanzone. And this coach guided his team further than it had ever been as they made their first appearance on the final day of the state tournament. Our Broward Coach of the Year is South Broward's Leo Jimenez.
This is Pablo Lopez with your Miami Marlins. Congratulations to all the Miami Herald Athletic Award winners.
Let's go over to softball now, starting with the Broward County 4A 2A team. Brianna Godfrey, Coral Springs Charter. Sammy Murphy, Pompano Beach. Marissa Thompson, American Heritage. Bridget Dunham, Coral Springs Charter. Emily Leggett, American Heritage. Molly Mason, American Heritage. Holly Roach, American Heritage. Vicky Vasquez, Coral Springs Charter. Stina D'Agostino, Coral Springs Charter. Brooke Febbles, American Heritage. Morgan Laidler, American Heritage. Alicia Marzuka, Pinecrest. Cameron Casey, Westminster Academy. Mackenzie Jewell, Pompano Beach. And Lauren Westerfeld, Pompano Beach. And now for the Dade 4A 2A team. Bella Artiles, Westminster Christian. Edan Playa, Somerset Silver Palms. Asia Mallory, Gulliver. Sophia Moran, St. Brendan. Haley Donovan, Westminster Christian. Ariana Thomason, Keys Gate. Brooke Reben, Westminster Christian. Taylor Reben, Somerset Silver Palms. Andrea Delgado, Gulliver. Madison Londoño, Matter Lakes. Sammy Suarez, Westminster Christian. Ava Stevens, Somerset Silver Palms. Cassidy Martinez, Westminster Christian. Isabella Fernandez, St. Brendan. Yaniris Ramos, Slam. Leah Maduro, Ransom Everglades. Aaron McLaughlin, Keys Gate, and Fia Zelenka, Florida Christian. We'll start with 4A2A Pitcher of the Year for Broward. This junior is attracting college offers after another great season in which she struck out 183 batters over 100 innings and finished with a 0.35 ERA while going 15-3. Our Broward 4A2A Pitcher of the Year is Coral Springs Charter's Brianna Godfrey. And now for the 4A2A Broward Player of the Year. This sophomore infielder did not strike out once while leading her team back to the state Final Four and hit a staggering .596 with 7 home runs, 11 doubles, and 23 RBIs. The Broward 4A2A Player of the Year is American Heritage's Emily Leggett. And now for the 4A2A Dade Pitcher of the Year. This junior was a strikeout inducer this year, racking up 119 over 67 2/3 innings with a 2.07 ERA, a 138 batting average against, and a pair of no-hitters. The Dade 4A2A Softball Pitcher of the Year is Gulliver Prep's Aja Mallory. And now for the 4A2A Dade Player of the Year. Through the regional semis, this senior had a blistering .505 batting average to go along with 14 home runs, 49 RBIs, and 48 runs scored. The Dade 4A2A Softball Player of the Year is Westminster Christian's Haley Donovan. This coach guided her team on an impressive run through the Class 2A bracket and to its first state Final Four appearance since 1999. Our Broward 4A2A Coach of the Year, Westminster Academy's Casey Jarvis. And now the Dade 4A2A Coach of the Year. His team is the only one from this classification that advanced out of the regional semifinals or to make it to state, and they put on a show getting there. The Dade 4A2A Softball Coach of the Year is Westminster Christian's Scott Doan. Now we switch to the 7A, 5A softball team, and we start with Dade. Alyssa Zabala, Doral. Melody Vizcaíno, Palmetto. Cami Villamazar, Coral Reef. Cassandra Machado, Doral. Sophia Wiley, Palmetto. Maya Tab, Southridge. Anna Hernandez, Coral Reef. Anna Riches, Doral. Annabella Abdullah, Doral. Rachel Hawkins, Coral Reef. Adriana Perez, Lourdes. Amanda Diaz, Palmetto. Michaela Roig, Doral. Brianna Parentoni, Coral Reef. Gabby Alaman, Goldman. Olivia Rapp, Palmetto. Sam Noriega, Terra. And Brooklyn Lorenzo, Goldman. And for Broward, Allie Blondin, South Plantation. Jordan Husty, Cooper City. Victoria Navarro, West Broward. Elisa Solo, Western. Kirsten Caravaca, Cooper City. Stephanie Gonzalez, Pines Charter. Rayleigh Lehman, St. Thomas Aquinas. Avery Olson, Western. Grace Sobek, South Plantation. Alana Velasquez, Pines Charter. Olivia Jimenez, Archbishop McCarthy. Isabella Chanette, Archbishop McCarthy. Elixa DiFato, West Broward. Bianca Holestina, Cooper City. Madison Bromley, Monarch. And Destiny Washington, Fort Lauderdale. Let's start with 7A, 5A Pitcher of the Year for Dade. This junior has been simply dominant. She had a 20-2 record, a 0.79 ERA, and 173 strikeouts over 123 1/3 innings through the regional semifinal round of the state series. The Dade 7A, 5A Softball Pitcher of the Year is Doral Academy's Alyssa Zavala. This senior is closing out her prep career on a high note. Through the regional semis, she had already hit 16 home runs, recorded 51 RBIs, and scored 39 runs while posting a .482 batting average. The Dade 7A, 5A Softball Player of the Year is Doral Academy's Cassandra Machado. Now for Broward. This junior pitcher went 18-1 with a 1.48 ERA and 143 strikeouts over her first 132 innings this season to lead her team to another deep playoff push. Our 7A, 5A Broward Pitcher of the Year is Cooper City's Jordan Husty. Our Broward 7A 5A Player of the Year. This junior infielder hit .446 with 3 home runs and 26 RBIs and was one of the driving forces behind her team's run to the Class 7A Regional Finals. The Broward 7A 5A Player of the Year is Western's Avery Olson. Our Dade 7A 5A Coach of the Year, it's a clean sweep. His team was ranked as the number 2 team in the state and was a dominant force from start to finish. The Dade 7A 5A Softball Coach of the Year is Doral Academy's Willie Virouette. This coach, in his first year with this program, helped his team overcome a 3-9 start and led them all the way to the Class 5A Regional Finals. Our Broward 7A 5A Coach of the Year is Pembroke Pines Charter's Delvin Pasquale. Now we head to the baseball diamond, and let's start with Broward County's 4A 2A team. Devin Futrell, American Heritage. Andy Painter, Calvary Christian. A.J. Prendergast, Coral Springs Charter. Irv Carter, Calvary Christian. Shane Huntsberger, North Broward Prep. Mateo Cerna, American Heritage. Eris Rivera, Westminster Academy. Jonathan Lane, Calvary Christian. Julian Gonzalez, American Heritage. Alex Ulloa, Calvary Christian. Jonah Diaz, North Broward Prep. Edward Bravo, Somerset Academy. Bryce Pratt, Pompano Beach. Nico Ferraro, American Heritage. Damian Rodriguez, Coral Springs Charter. Renee Lastres, Calvary Christian. Yoel Tejada, North Broward Prep. And Mike Higgins, Cardinal Gibbons. And for Dade, Gerangelo Sinchi, Champagnat Catholic. Horatio Cruz, Keys Gate. Christopher Diaz, Miami Christian. Luke Rear, Monsignor Pace. Joel Pinheiro, Westminster Christian. Sebastian Paz, LaSalle. Luis Aparicio, Gulliver. Chris Basile, Ransom Everglades. Marco Navarro, Slam. Sal Stewart, Westminster Christian. Jaden Melendez, Westminster Christian. Alejandro Calalpa, Keys Gate. Brandon Gonzalez, Mater Lakes. Keanu Rodriguez, Florida Christian. Eric Fernandez, Riviera Prep. Jason Torres, Miami Springs. Chris Carroll, Slam. And Victor Sanchez, Hialeah Educational. First, the Broward winners. He's one of the top MLB draft prospects in South Florida and showed it this season. The senior posted a 0.31 ERA over 45 1/3 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs while striking out 94 batters. The Broward 4A 2A Pitcher of the Year is Calvary Christian's Andrew Painter. This junior excelled both at the plate and on the mound. Offensively, he had a .401 average, 19 runs scored, 26 RBIs, 11 doubles, and 2 home runs. On the mound, he struck out 41 batters in 26 2/3 innings while putting up a 0.52 ERA. The Broward 4A 2A Player of the Year is North Broward Prep's Yoel Tejada. And now for Dade. If it wasn't enough that this pitcher was dominant throwing with one arm, guess what? He can throw heat with solid command both as a righty and a lefty. The results speak for themselves after he compiled 95 strikeouts in 49 innings with a minuscule 0.30 ERA, and he's already committed to Stetson University. Our 4A 2A Dade Pitcher of the Year is Champagnat Catholic's Gerangelo Sinchi. This junior third baseman crushed baseballs throughout the season to the beat of 17 home runs, entering the Class 3A Regional Finals while hitting .564 with 38 RBIs. He's a projected high-round pick in the 2022 MLB Draft and a Vanderbilt University signee. Our Player of the Year, Westminster Christian's Sal Stewart. Now for the Coaches of the Year. His team is the only one from Broward County in these 3 classes that made it to the regional finals, pulling off an extra innings win over Somerset Academy and an upset victory over Plantation American Heritage to get there. The Broward 4A 2A Coach of the Year is North Broward Prep's Brian Campbell. And in Dade, we have 2 who took their teams to new heights this season. First, this veteran coach is now at the helm of a young program which struggled to an 8-17-1 record entering regionals before they shocked a nationally ranked opponent and won multiple playoff games for the first time in school history. The other led another young program to a district championship and their first multi-regional playoff win season ever. Our co-coaches of the year are Hialeah Educational's Lazaro Pandora and Mater Lake's Albert Osorio. Now for the 7A, 5A baseball first teams, starting with Dade. Evan Demurias, Doral. Chris Orduña, Braddock. Esteban Rodriguez, Belen. Irvis Solis, Hialeah. Alan Valverde, Killian. Marcus Franco, Doral. Dorian Gonzalez, Belen Jesuit. Ariel Garcia, Columbus. Nicholas Garcia, Coral Reef. Cater Rabag, Braddock. Juan Aracena, South Dade. Gabriel Gutierrez, Doral. Gabe Perez, Columbus. Ryan Scari, Coral Reef. Daniel Verez, Braddock. David Knepper, Terra. Renzo Gonzalez, Doral. And Kyle Marty, Columbus. And for Broward, Chris Arroyo, Douglas. Mike Fortes, West Broward. Chris Rodriguez, Douglas. Darius Robinson, St. Thomas Aquinas. Dean Guzman, West Broward. Santiago Ordonez, Douglas. Juan Correa, West Broward. Cameron Harris, Stoneman Douglas. Jimmy Thies, St. Thomas Aquinas. Daniel Cuvette, St. Thomas Aquinas. Roman Anthony, Douglas. Jack Clark, St. Thomas Aquinas. Franklin Pinales, Pines Charter. Luis Rodriguez, Taravella. Austin Farris, Cooper City. Sean Kalber, Western. Chris Cinta, Taravella. And Andrew Ildefonso, Archbishop McCarthy. First for the Dade winners, for the 7A, 5A Pitcher of the Year, we're splitting it between two arms who were dominant this season. The first is a senior left-hander who went 9-2 with a 1.11 ERA and struck out 85 while leading his team to the 7A regional semifinals. The other is a senior right-hander who went 8-0 with a 1.83 ERA and 66 strikeouts as of the regional final round as he faced and beat some of the best teams in the state. The co-pitchers of the year are Braddock's Chris Orduña and Doral's Evan Demurias. This senior outfielder pitcher is headed to the University of Miami after a senior season in which he hit 9 home runs and hit .416 with 26 RBIs and 16 stolen bases against one of the toughest schedules in the state. Our 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Doral's Renzo Gonzalez. This senior had an 8-0 record, a minuscule 0.38 ERA, and struck out 47 batters over 36 2/3 innings. Opponents hit just 156 against him. The Broward 7A, 5A Pitcher of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Darius Robinson. And now the 7A, 5A Broward Player of the Year. This junior has been a table setter for one of Broward County's top teams and one of the best teams in the state. He has a .391 batting average with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 31 runs scored. The Broward 7A, 5A Player of the Year is Stoneman Douglas's Roman Anthony. Even though their season came to a disappointing end in the Class 7A regional semifinals, this coach led his team to its best season in program history with 25 wins, a GMAC championship, and their furthest playoff push in 15 years. Since he took over, they are 56-29 and on the rise. The 7A, 5A Dade Coach of the Year is Braddock's Wesley Morjan. His team defied expectations this year. They won a district title for the first time since 2008 and won a regional playoff game for the first time since 2015. And they did it while honoring their late coach and athletic director, Jason Stein, who died of complications due to COVID-19 in August. The Broward 7A, 5A Coach of the Year is Taravella's Joe Giamule. And now we welcome David Heffernan with the Orange Bowl Committee. Currently a partner at Care and Heffernan LLC, David is a Columbus High graduate who was a starting offensive tackle for the University of Miami Hurricanes 1983 National Championship team. Please join me in welcoming David Heffernan.
Hi, I'm David Heffernan, and on behalf of the Orange Bowl Committee and the Miami Herald, and as a proud Columbus High School graduate, I'm especially honored to present the Miami-Dade Lifetime Achievement Award to Fred Foyo. Longtime Columbus track and field coach Fred Foyo loved listening to classic rock as much as sports. His favorite song was Leonard Skinner's Freebird, so much so that his daughter Christina danced that song with him at her wedding. On a mini getaway recently with her and his son Fernando, Foyo asked them if they knew why his favorite line from the song was, "If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me?" Foyo said that he hoped he would be remembered when he was gone. Always being humble, they had to remind him that he would be. The lyrics were his way of encouraging them to live in a way to be remembered after you're gone, because that's what life meant to him. Foyo's coaching legacy spanned 4 decades at Columbus and isn't likely to be forgotten. A 2-time state track championship coach with the Explorers and a longtime assistant coach on the school's football team, Fred Foyo died this past April. He'd been hospitalized for 2 days after he collapsed during Columbus District Track Championship meet. Foyo was in the midst of trying to lead Columbus to a 3rd consecutive boys track state title after leading the school to the first 2 in 2018 and 2019. He was only 64. Foyo became the head coach of the Explorers track team in 1988 and spent years helping build the program into one of the state's powerhouses. He saw those results come to fruition over the past couple of decades, as Columbus posted state runner-up finishes in 2009, 2010, and 2017 before their back-to-back state victories. He was also a fixture on the Columbus football coaching staff as a longtime offensive line coach and was part of the first state championship in 2019. Fred was born in Quebec, Canada on February 9th, 1957, and was adopted by Cuban parents. After spending the first few years of his life in Cuba, he and his parents fled the Castro regime to Miami in the early 1960s. He graduated from Columbus in 1975 after becoming a first-team all-day guard on the football team and an accomplished shot putter and discus thrower on the track team. He then went on to earn all-conference honors as an offensive lineman at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado. But after his playing days were over, Foyo found his passion for coaching. He came back to his alma mater years later and joined both teams as an assistant coach. It was Foyo's willingness to go above and beyond for his student athletes that separated him from other coaches, according to Columbus assistant principal John Linsky. John said that there were a myriad of times where he saw Fred reach into his pocket and give some money to a kid who didn't have lunch money or didn't have gas money. That's the person Fred was. He once paid for a kid to be able to go to prom and didn't want the kid to know who did it. If a kid didn't have a father to go with him on senior night, Fred would step in for him. Those are the things he'll always remember. This season, as the schools returned to action during the COVID-19 pandemic, Foyo continued to teach and coach at Columbus, and Columbus is again one of the top track teams in the state. It was a difficult season for Columbus, but their goal for the rest of the year was clear. Columbus thrower Sebastian LaRoque said, "Coach died watching us do what we love. We want to dedicate the rest of the season to him and win it for him." Everyone, our Miami-Dade Lifetime Achievement Award winner is Columbus track and field coach, Fred Foyo. And on that note, it's time for our second Leo Suarez Walter Crest Courage Award. Coach Foyo's legacy lives on in the effort of this team put forth as they completed the season in his honor following his tragic passing. They went on to win a regional championship and finish top 10 at state. In honor of their perseverance, we present the Leo Suarez Walter Crest Courage Award to the Columbus track and field team. Congratulations and adelante.
It is time for the big awards. Since the spring sports season was not complete at the time this presentation was filmed, we will be announcing our All Sports Awards at a later date. But before we announce our Don Shula Coaches of the Year and Athletes of the Year, we wanted to recognize a coaching legend who is retiring at the end of the school year. After nearly half a century turning St. Thomas Aquinas into a national powerhouse, both as a football coach and athletic director, George Smith will call it a career soon. He spent the past 39 years as the athletic director and oversaw 112 state championships and 13 national titles. Smith is the godfather of one of the winningest programs in the country, which has won the Miami Herald All Sports Award bestowed upon the top program in Broward County for over 35 years in a row. Smith is a member of the Broward County Sports Hall of Fame, the Florida Athletic Coaches Association Hall of Fame, the Florida High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, and the namesake of the Miami Dolphins George Smith Coach of the Year Award, handed out annually by that organization to the top high school football coach in South Florida. He was also presented with a Miami Herald Lifetime Achievement Award upon his retirement from coaching a few years ago. We now acknowledge the legendary career of George Smith. Thank you for everything, Coach. And now to the Coaches of the Year. We start with the Dade Female Sports Coach of the Year finalists: Justin Pupo, Doral Tennis; Coral Buxeda, LaSalle Competitive Cheerleading; Elsa Lopez, Mater Academy Volleyball; Carmen Jackson, Northwestern Girls Track and Field; Chanel Davila, Miami Christian Basketball; and Willie Virouette, Doral Softball. Their home gym was unavailable and had to be rebuilt after termites were found in its roof in the off-season. They also had to deal with a shortened schedule due to COVID-19, but neither stopped this coach or her players from securing their first ever state championship. The Miami-Dade Don Shula Female Sports Coach of the Year is Mater Academy's Elsa Lopez. And the four contenders for the Miami-Dade Male Sports Coach of the Year are Frankie Ruiz, Belen Jesuit Cross Country; Hector Clavijo, Champagnat Catholic Football; Pamela McDonald, Doral Soccer; Carol Vaughn, Gulliver Water Polo; and Rafael Cabanzon, Miami High Volleyball. Our winner made history, not only for leading her squad to its first ever state championship, but by becoming the first woman to coach a boys team to a title in state history in soccer. Her accomplishment made international news, and we salute her milestone by presenting her as our Miami-Dade Don Shula Male Sports Coach of the Year. She is Doral Academy's Pamela McDonald. And now the finalists for the Broward Female Sports Coach of the Year are Margot Flack, Cardinal Gibbons Soccer; Greg Farias, American Heritage Basketball; Marios Podkoscielny, Pinecrest Swimming; Kevin Gilligan, St. Thomas Aquinas Lacrosse; Oliver Behrens, St. Thomas Aquinas Basketball. This coach has spent nearly 2 decades guiding one of the premier programs in this sport, but had yet to lead the team to a state championship. That changed this past February in dominant fashion. The Broward Don Shula Female Sports Coach of the Year is Cardinal Gibbons soccer coach Margot Flack. And the male sports finalists: Joe Blasucci, Somerset Wrestling; Ike Smith, Pinecrest Basketball; Dave Roca, Pines Charter Basketball; Davidson Gill, Dillard Boys Track and Field; and Joseph Giamulli, Taravella Baseball. This coach also led his team to a historic first after years of coming close when he guided them to a dominant victory which secured their first track and field state championship. Our Don Shula Male Sports Coach of the Year for Broward County is Dillard's Davidson Gill. And now the Broward County finalists for the 4A, 1A Female Athlete of the Year are Sierra Stocker, Pinecrest, Cross Country, Lacrosse, and Track and Field; Mackenzie Osher, North Broward Prep, Track and Field and Cheerleading; Julia Podkoscielny, Pinecrest Swimming and Diving; Emily Leggett, American Heritage Softball and Bowling; and Emma Walhoff, Westminster Academy Basketball. This sophomore won 4 state championships this season in swimming, taking home titles in the 200 IM, 100 backstroke, as well as the 200 freestyle and 200 medley relays, all while leading her team to another championship. The Broward 4A, 1A Female Athlete of the Year is Pinecrest's Julia Podkoscielny. Next up, we'll award the Male Athletes of the Year for classes 4A, 1A. First up, the nominees from Broward County: Emile Aime, University School, track and field and football. Darian Estevez, Somerset Academy wrestling and cross country. Torrey Cox Jr., Chaminade Madonna football and track and field. Jaden Kinlock, American Heritage football and wrestling. And Andrew Painter, Calvary Christian baseball. This senior capped a stellar football and track and field career by earning all-county first-team honors while at True Prep Academy in the fall, since his home school could not have a team due to COVID-19 concerns. He posted 75 tackles, 4 sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He then competed for his school in track and won the state shot put title with 16.62 meters, breaking the school record. This fall, he will be aiming to make the football squad at Florida State University. Our 4A1A Broward Male Athlete of the Year is University School's Emil M.A. The finalists for the Broward Class 7A-5A Female Athlete of the Year are Isabella Cheney, Archbishop McCarthy Bowling and Softball. Sydney Ford, Western Flag Football and Soccer. Adia Fry, St. Thomas Aquinas Track and Field. Alexis Glasgow, St. Thomas Aquinas Track and Field. And Jasani Carter, Flanagan Track and Field. This senior became an integral part of her team's 3 state titles in the past 4 seasons. This year, they needed every point she could give them as she won the long jump, 100-meter hurdles, and was part of the winning 400-meter relay team. You can next catch her competing for the University of North Carolina. The Broward 7A-5A Female Athlete of the Year is St. Thomas Aquinas' Adia Fry. The nominees for Broward's Class 7A-5A Male Athlete of the Year are Devon Mortimer, Dillard Football and Track. Michael Fiore, Fort Lauderdale Cross Country and Track. Dallas Turner, St. Thomas Aquinas Football. And Roman Anthony, Douglas Baseball. This junior was the fastest sprinter in Broward in the 100 and 200 meters at state this season, while helping his team win their first ever state title. On the football field, he was one of the best receivers and kick returners in the state, finished with 318 yards and 5 touchdowns while returning 2 kickoffs and 3 punts for scores to lead that team to a tri-county championship. The Broward 7A-5A Male Athlete of the Year is Dillard's Devon Mortimer. And now the finalists from Miami-Dade for the 4A1A Female Athlete of the Year. Lindsay Gould, Ransom Everglades Football, Soccer, and Track and Field. Saskia Hernandez, Westminster Christian Volleyball and Track and Field. Alyssa Pasquale, Gulliver Swimming and Water Polo. Haley Donovan, Westminster Christian Softball. Andrea Daly, Miami Country Day Basketball. This senior was once a 4-time first-team All-Dade honoree in volleyball, as well as a first-team All-State selection and All-American by Prep Volleyball. She also competed as a thrower in track and field and has been a force on the school's beach volleyball team. Her efforts earned her a scholarship to NC State. The 4A1A Female Athlete of the Year for Miami-Dade is once again Westminster Christian's Saskia Hernandez. The contenders for Miami-Dade for 4A1A Male Athlete of the Year are Arturo Dean, Calusa Prep Basketball. Jack Butler, Westminster Christian Soccer, Football, and Lacrosse. Hayat K. Ramos, Gulliver Swimming and Water Polo. And Sal Stewart, Westminster Christian Baseball and Basketball. This junior added to the great baseball tradition at his school with a monster season at the plate, which at the time this was filmed included a trip to the regional finals with 17 home runs and a .564 batting average. He also shot 40% from the field and averaged 11 points per game as a starter on the school's basketball team. He's got one more high school season to go before he either heads off to play baseball at national powerhouse Vanderbilt or turns pro. The Miami-Dade 4A1A Male Athlete of the Year is Westminster Christian's Sal Stewart. The finalists for the Miami-Dade 7A-5A Female Athlete of the Year are Alyssa Jones, Southridge Track and Field. Alyssa Zabala, Doral Academy Softball. Lindsay Weingard, Crop Basketball, Bowling, and Flag Football. Olivia Rapp, Palmetto Softball and Basketball. And Penelope Sosa, Coral Park Cross Country and Track and Field. This senior had a successful and versatile career in 3 sports, earning all-Dade first-team honors in basketball 3 times, as well as bowling and flag football. She was a 3-time district champion in all 3 sports, and she's headed to Duke in the fall. The Miami-Dade 7A 5A Female Athlete of the Year is Dr. Crop's Lindsay Weingard. And now the 7A 5A Male Athlete of the Year for Miami-Dade. The contenders are Ken Moore Jr., Columbus football and track and field; Javier Vento, Belen Jesuit cross country and track and field; Leonard Taylor, Palmetto football; Desmond Romer, Coral Gables basketball; and Sawyer Bartelt, South Dade wrestling. This senior was a 2-time individual state champion in cross country, as well as a 2-time state champion in track and field this past season. And during his career, he led his school to 4 state cross-country titles and a runner-up finish in track this spring. He will next run for the University of Florida. The 7A 5A Miami-Dade Male Athlete of the Year is Belen Jesuit's Javier Vento. Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees for your well-deserved success and valuable contributions to another great year of sports in South Florida. Enjoy your success today. We look forward to seeing your success in the future. We especially want to thank all of the families, athletic directors, coaches, and principals for another outstanding season and for helping us make this night a success. To our sponsors, Baptist Health South Florida's Miami Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute and the Orange Bowl Committee, thank you for your incredible partnership and constant support. Without you, this night would not have been possible. To all of the superstar athletes who participated in tonight's ceremony and our South Florida top sports teams, the Miami Heat, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Marlins, and Inter Miami, thank you for your time and contributions to tonight's event and for your words of encouragement for our honorees. On behalf of the Miami Herald, thank you for joining us tonight. We wish you all a wonderful summer. See you in the fall.